a house in New Orleans. They call the rising sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy. And God, I know I'm one. My mother was a tailor. She sewed my new blue jeans. Well, my father was a gambling man. Well, down in New Orleans. Oh, mother, well, tell your children not to do what I have done. Oh, spend your lives in sin and misery in the house of the rising sun. Hey, spend your life in sin and misery in the house of the rising sun.
Go Haley, man.
Wow, how far did she get?
I don't know. I don't know if she even won. Actually,
Let's find out.
Okay, why am I hearing myself twice?
I only hear you once.
Oh, I know why I am. Sorry about that. I was hearing myself about to drive myself crazy. It's I forgot I had the station open while we were going live. So welcome everyone to News on the Flip Side. I hope everyone's having a good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are on our big, blue, beautiful planet. I know we have a bigger U.S. audience for this particular show, but I also know that we also have a large overseas audience for this show as well. So welcome the latest co-host with us, Leah Dunbar. Say hi, Leah. Wave to the world.
Hello.
She's and not as bad as the one over there with the panther on the screen. We're not going to mention no names or nothing. But anyway, welcome Jay. Welcome. Hey, it's a panther Thundercat. Well, welcome Jay. Welcome Sean. Welcome Leah. Hope everyone's having a good day today. We're missing one one host is off tonight. He is on sabbatical. Something about going to Yukon digging for gold. I'm not exactly sure what it is. Y'all don't know Sean. The other Sean is a prospector.
He told me he was getting a 14th wife.
Well, he probably did, but that's why he had to go back out prospecting again. No, Raymond really he does prospect. He really does in real life. He goes out and gets him gold. Yes. I told him go find me a big nugget. I need something to put behind me back here. Maybe something I can put in Bob's eye or something.
2 of them then, one for each eye.
Like a little shiny golden nugget or something. No, seriously, he does. He gets out there. What do you mean? I would go hang out with some friends while they were doing it. Probably. It sounds fun. I've been out prospecting for diamonds and opals, and we've been in places like, and when you're in places like Arkansas, there's freaking diamond digging places all over the place. Opal, I mean, you name it, in crystals everywhere. Yeah, a crystal down here that would cost you $1,600 up there cost you about $300. And it's just the age of the thing. But anyway, a lot of stuff going on. I don't know how many of y'all caught the State of the Union. I'm not sure if I learned anything about the Union, though. That's what confused me about this. So I've been catching different people have been sending me different links. So I've pretty much heard the whole damn thing by now by the different links. And we may dig some up later on. I mean, I heard him talk about Trump twice. I pretty much heard him basically say anybody who comes in the country can vote, which I was like, really? Oh, okay.
What?
It's, I mean, it was kind of sad. What's really sad? Even the Democrats didn't take up for him. I think that's the saddest thing.
Was he slurring his words?
Well, somewhere along the line, I think somebody pissed him off and he got mad and he just kind of went off on a tirade. And first off, you can't defend yourself about the border. Why even bother? If I was him, I wouldn't even brought the border up. Oh yeah, I'm going to fix the border now. Oh yeah, watch y'all freaking Americans are stupid. Come on, you ain't even been down there in 4 years. All of a sudden, you're going to fix it. No, nobody in America's really believing that. I mean, that's a hard sell. I mean, I'm personally thinking, yeah, Joe, I'm not feeling the love, man. And well, no, Johnny, he did give the college kids a break, but they haven't got it yet. So I'm still no, they haven't got it yet.
But is the Supreme Court intervene on that? Because that's if he only targets a select few that get college debt relief.
Yeah, I want my debt relief. Else? What the hell, man?
What about everybody else who's done it throughout the years?
Debt relief with interest now, that's like 500 G's, man. Oh, I definitely want some money. No, Sean, I couldn't get my BA in the Navy. You actually got to go to college. Yeah, it's just the way it works. No, you can get equivalents to it all day long in the service. So don't get me wrong. A lot of times the education you're going to get in service is going to be more in depth because like in the Navy, we were required to ace every test. No, you couldn't pass a test if you missed a question. And these weren't always short tests. A lot of times these were 100, 150 questions. You're like, Jesus. And you got to go through the whole thing and not miss any. Yeah, and you only get 3 attempts. If you miss it 3 times, they kick you out the course and put you in something else. Say, well, guess you're not meant for this. And they move you on. That's just the way they are.
And the thing about this, payoff to college loans, the issue is it's regressive too. Yes. Right? If you're a construction worker, you didn't go to college. This just helps white collar kids. So who majored in things that they probably shouldn't have majored in. So
I have that same argument. I didn't have a college loan to pay back, which thank God for my parents. But what about me? It's not fair to me. Even though I was able to get a college education, you're giving thousands of dollars to people who put their own selves in debt. They signed the papers themselves.
Yeah, I volunteered my ass literally for 5 years in the Army to pay for college. So no sympathy, none.
No, they don't care about that. To them, it doesn't even matter. But my problem is it doesn't even cover a lot of people who it should cover. I found a lot of middle class people getting this break. I'm kind of worried more about the people who were lower class that doesn't seem to be seeing the real money there coming off. And also,
those are the people the Democrats are supposed to help too. That's why it doesn't make any sense.
Well, they've kind of kicked the blacks to the curb. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that with the Democrats. I mean, that's the other day I was listening to.
They take them for granted, right? If they vote 92% consistently.
Yeah, right? Well, they haven't done that
with no outcomes, right? Yeah. Then they just take it for granted. But I don't think
after Trump's administration, when he got a large percentage of the black vote, their relationship between them and the Democrats has been tainted. So it's been several years.
It's definitely coming down. It's definitely coming down. Right.
Because he's the only guy I ever see get on TV and go, he's speaking to the Black Caucus. He goes, well, just tell me what the Democrats have done for you in the last 30 years.
What have they done for you lately?
And you see the whole audience going, it's sad. I mean, it really is. But that's all changing now. You're going to see that. You're going to see a good 30 or 40% drop out of that. And you're going to see that with Hispanics. So I don't know how the Democrats are going to come back and fix this. They can play a blame game, but they're in so much trouble with.
They just imported 4 million votes, Joe. They just imported 4 million votes,
and Biden rubber stamped them last night. You can go vote now, but a lot of states are saying no. They're not going to allow it. More and more states are pushing for IDs. So nobody's had control of the Congress long enough to fix this. I mean, all you have to do is make it a federal law that everyone has to have an ID when they show up. And put it into a damn computer.
If you go to purchase alcohol, you must have an ID.
You have to have an ID for everything.
Right.
I love the Democrats.
I'm 57 years old. I have carded for beer. They have they actually scan my card at the register when I buy a 6-pack, a 12-pack, a single can of beer.
Well, I love my Democrat friends always tell me, well, that's because they can't afford to go down to the DMV and get. I'm saying, wait a minute. I said, well, how do they get?
They can afford to drink and show license, right?
Yeah, but how can they go? I mean, you can't even get on Medicaid or Social Security, anything without your license.
Right.
And it's worse than that because I told him, I said, well, look, Matt, I said, think of it this way. I said, you put them on buses and drive them down to vote. Why can't you put them on buses to go down and get an ID? I said, seems like an easy thing to me. I said, anytime you don't want IDs, you want to cheat. It's the only reason you don't want IDs. There's no other reason. There's no reason why you shouldn't show an ID when you go to vote. You got to show an ID for every other thing in this country, and you are considered a vagrant without an ID.
But how are they automatically able to vote? I mean, you have to register, right?
Not in Democratic states, you don't. So we had a girl on last election cycle. She came on with us, and she came on. She goes, "So let me show you what I did, Joe." So she's from New York. So she voted twice in 2 different provinces in New York. Then she drove over to Pittsburgh and voted 3 times in Pittsburgh. Then she drove down. Oh, she forgot she went and voted in Philly for some reason. She just considered it separate than Pittsburgh. But anyway, we're not going to go there.
How is she not in prison?
And wait, it gets worse. Then she drives down to D.C. and votes 2 times. Comes back around, and I forgot where she went, and she voted 2. Anyway, she voted a total of 11 times. I think she hit New
Jersey on the way back up.
Yeah, it might have been. But she voted 11 different times, I think, in 5 different states. All northeastern states, and all democratically controlled states. But
and
still,
all in one day.
That shit would not have happened down here. That would not have happened down here, because but see, now everything down here is computerized anyway. So you vote, and then they put it in there, and they put your name in that you voted. So if you go vote somewhere in Alabama, Georgia, it shows up on the rolls, and like, well, wait, they already voted. So it's getting more sophisticated, but it's just too easy to cheat. It's just, I can see ways how it's easy to cheat. Now remember this case, Trump. So the machine company was suing Trump over what was it? Not fraud, defamation of character for saying the machines were rigged, and it looked like they had a good lawsuit. And then all of a sudden, they dropped it. So something must have came out from somebody like, we better just leave this.
Didn't they win the case against Fox News, though? That's the one place that
they won the case against Fox News. And then there's something else was going on, and they dropped that one too. I don't know. Something changed right after that. Maybe Fox got their hands on something and said, okay, look, we'll just resolve this like this. I don't know. Something went down that nobody wanted to talk about. So obviously, there was another piece of information that came out that kept him from going after Trump or anybody else. So it was because a lot of people were on them about that, politicians, and still they never did come clean and never show anybody any of the paperwork, anything. Because
the stories just kind of faded out into the background. I mean,
because the liberals control most of the media. I mean, they control 5 of the 7 major stations. So if you're not watching one of the 2 other ones, you're not, now you might be watching some lame ass station we ain't never heard of or something, but still. And so many people get their news on, dare I say, Facebook.
Still.
Yeah.
Number one, number 1 source for news, not in our country, in the world. Passed up BBC even.
That's good news.
Does that include Instagram? Like everything Meta?
Yeah, everything matters because they probably throw Instagram in with Facebook because Instagram's constantly. Instagram is TikTok for Facebook, is what it is.
It's owned by Facebook, so I mean,
but it is. But it scrolls like TikTok does.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's fascinating. That's fantastic news for the political activities division of the CIA. That's fantastic. You can control any narrative you want overseas.
And then wait. So while we're on this,
of manipulation.
Putin came out and threatened all of us not to interfere in his election again. He's tired of America trying to get him not elected. I'm thinking, dude, get that. Which we
Joe, you know damn well that we are absolutely interfering in that election. There's 100% chance that we're interfering.
We're interfering in everything. There is nothing we're not interfering.
You know what terrifies me though? Victoria Nuland just stepped down, just in time. After running all those rose revolutions and green revolutions, she's coming right back home. I wonder why. I wonder what she's going to do. First job out of office.
There's just so. Oh, and who was it else? Somebody else stepped down. Who was it? Somebody just stepped down. Was the head of one of the parties? Oh,
Mitch McConnell.
He said he's not leaving as soon as we thought, and 4 of the people who said they were leaving are going to stay. But no, I was talking about the head of the DNC's leaving. I mean, RNC, not the DNC, the RNC. The head of RNC is leaving.
Oh yeah, that was probably Trump. Probably forced her out. But did you see what happened to McConnell's? Did you see what happened to McConnell's sister-in-law in early February?
No, I heard somebody talking about something about it the other day, but I wasn't.
So her name's Angela Chow. She's the sister of Elaine Chow, who was like a former transportation secretary. This woman was the CEO of a company called what is it? It's like it's called the Foremost Group. It is a major shipping conglomerate that has locations in New York, someplace, there's another city in the U.S. I can't remember, Shanghai, Hong Kong, and then another city in Japan. So deep ties with, politicians and, officials in China and the United States. And, February 11th, they found her car in a lake, her Tesla in a lake in Texas. That's kind of weird, right? Like if you're getting there, it's still a pending investigation. They're still doing a criminal investigation because there's some weird I guess fact patterns involved. But if you're the Chinese, right, and you're planning an invasion of Taiwan, she's going to have access to shipping manifests and stuff like that. She's going to be able to see if there's like, wait, why are we shipping all these medical supplies into, it's a 500, I'm just making this up, but it's a 500x increase on these manifests into China. I wonder what you would need, all these additional medical supplies for, or, we're shipping additional, they're stocking up on food and oil and all sorts of, so I don't know. It could just be completely innocent, but it seems super suspicious. And then you had every social media company go down last week. Not everyone, but you had like Instagram, Facebook, and then the week before that you had the AT&T outage. So there's something going on.
Which, by the way, background. None of it affected
Nationwide,
us or the
AT&T,
station.
and I was told Verizon too.
Yeah, but
there's a few accounts with Verizon. That's right.
Yeah, all of our station pages were fine. We didn't have any problems with them. None of them went down. Not even my personal pages went down. We have 14 pages on Facebook. None of them went down. We have 4 Instagram pages. None of them went down. They all stayed up. And I know a lot of other people that stayed up because I was talking to Amelia, but Michelle's crashed.
Mine definitely disappeared.
Yeah, yours disappeared. Michelle's disappeared too. She told me hers. A couple other people told me, but it was weird how it was. Like sectioned or something. It was a very
there's something going on in the background,
and almost all of them.
I didn't notice it, but
I
don't check it all the time. So I mean, it seems like what you all are describing is either a test or a cyber attack test.
It's but it was only on personal pages. Though.
Pretty crazy though.
You know that, right? It wasn't anybody's business pages, just personal pages that went down.
So why wouldn't they attack you and me, Joe? Because like you probably had a top secret, like a TSSCI clearance that was hacked into in 2014.
So I got a class. I'm honest when I tell people all the time. I say I got a class 10 security clearance. Figure out what it is within the U.S. Navy. It's like it's so freaking high. You shouldn't even talk about it. But the thing of it is, they're looking at us because we talk about things that a lot of times will cross through topics in a kind of strange way. So we'll come into something that's probably borderline classified stuff, especially when we're talking about different things going on with airplanes or different things in the military that we're borderline on, like shieldings and different things. And we've had these conversations on this show and on the other show.
And look, some of us with me in particular, I never had any access to TSSCI information, even though I got one eventually. But I'm sure there's stuff out in the clear that we talk about that is not supposed to be out in the clear, and we probably put things together that. Well,
just to tell you how weird this is, I was talking about the real top speed of the USS Nimitz one night on. So on 4 different radio shows, I talked about this. All 4 shows pulled the show until I gave them a updated version with the manual said, which was 36 knots. The ship ran 70 knots, man. I mean, Jesus. I mean, it's got a big, huge reactor on it. I mean, just anyway.
It had 2 screws or 3 screws. That thing can at least pull 70 knots.
It was cruising. I mean, you didn't go. And people should just figure out the math when they say, "Oh, it's here," and all of a sudden it's on the other side of the ocean. You're like, well, man, shouldn't that have took 7 days and not 3 days? Well, work it out, people. I mean, that'll tell you how fast it's going. But so anyway, and technically it was still classified. But not really, because the Navy ordered the decommission of the Nimitz. I mean, it hasn't been yet, but unless they changed something. That it did. It was being decommissioned, then it wasn't, then it was, then it wasn't, then it was, then it wasn't. I don't actually know where it's at the moment.
Yeah, but I think the last word was decommissioned, and it's on its way back.
Yeah.
Of course.
So because they were going to use it somewhere, and then they thought about selling to somebody, and then no, they don't want to give anybody any nuclear reactors on it. So they're like, so they're going to remove the reactors and then sell it to one of these other countries to scrap it out. First, I mean, it's going to go to Norfolk for a little while, then it'll probably go down to the base down off the coast in Pascagoula, and they'll take all the sensitive electronics off, and then they'll go to whatchamacallit, where they'll pull the reactor, and then it goes, the other country comes and picks it up and takes it away and scraps it out for steel and whatever else they can get out of wire, copper, silver, whatever else is left in there. Because there are quite a few materials.
Museum piece.
I don't know why they not keep one of the Enterprise on them.
It's the first one of its class, wasn't it? I mean, it's the first one of that size.
I'm kind of surprised they're not keeping either one of them. Because we got all kind of battleships and shit laying all over the United States, and for whatever reason,
they're cutting that thing out for kindling, and they must have something better that they can produce really quick. Or it's already produced, and we don't know about it yet.
We got which one? Which one was it? Not the Gerald Ford. Which one just recently? Yeah, wasn't it Gerald Ford or the Reagan?
Ford, yeah, it's the most recent.
Gerald Ford. Yeah.
I think we got the Reagan coming, and then another one after that, and then, I mean, these carriers we're building today are insane. Hopefully, the new ones are set up to where they can take the F-35s.
Well, allegedly, they have the one that's going to come out next that can fly. It can levitate off the ocean and then go to the air.
We're gonna. I'm waiting to see. Well, I've seen the testing for those new blaster things on the side of it's the Reagan, I think. They're supposed to. The
water wall, yeah.
They're supposed to keep you from. They'll sink boats and keep them from being boarded. They can even knock down arms and stuff like that. So we'll see what that's
all
for.
Arms, maybe.
Yeah. Well, they'll say up to like a Lars type Spider missile, Sidewinder or something like that. It'll knock down. It's obviously there must be some serious force blowing through there. But the holes are about yay big around when I see them. So, and they're all lined all the way around the bottom of the carrier. I don't know, and I'm imagining they're just force pumping seawater through there.
Did you say you're in Special Forces, Joe?
Yes, I was.
In the Marines?
No, Navy.
In the Navy?
Yes, in the Navy. That was the guy that went in and killed you, and then came home and said, "Oh, I went to a birthday party last night."
Oh, you're like special secret.
No, actually, I was. It was funny for me because I was in boot camp in San Diego, and I had just qualified. I got my marksman's, my snipers, and my sharpshooter's badge. And my commander was so impressed. He was like, "Wow." He said, "At 100 yards, at 150 yards, and at 250 yards, you're 20 for 20. He said, "You're in the wrong branch of the service." I said, "No, dude, I'm going to work in electronics. What are you talking about?" He said, No. So they pulled me and sent me in, and I spent a year doing that. And then I told my commander, I said, "Look," because I learned a lot. And a lot of things I really didn't actually want to learn, to be honest with you.
Was that like a SEAL team you were tied to, or?
It's a little worse than that. This was when they effed up. Then they sent this team in. That's what this was, but for me, it would have just really been. I'd have probably just end up being one of the long range shooters from like a mile and a half. I'd just be like, just smiling. You just hear a zing, and then you hit the ground. That's all. You don't hear the bullet. You just hear zing, 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 zing. It's like shooting a little ray gun. But it was. My problem was I didn't want to kill anybody. That's really what it came down to. And I said, because I never know, being in service, you never know if you're going to kill somebody anyway. We're in your damn service anyhow. But, I said, if I had to kill somebody, protect my family or something like that, it would be different. Or save my own ass, or maybe a friend. But other than just going around shooting people because my government said go shoot, no. That wasn't a good thing for me. And thank God, because as the government went along and we got to see George Bush Sr. and George Bush and Clinton, not Clinton, Obama, just everybody just killing people left and right. And you know what? Out of that SEAL team that supposedly killed, what was his name, Bin Laden, only one of them is still alive.
Yep.
Seriously?
Yep.
That's what they said. Yeah, it was NSNBC I was watching the other day. Said they're only one. I had heard rumors about it. I said, you know how the internet is. And I was watching a special on NSNBC, and that's the one that wrote the book that's still alive, by the way. The one that
Did the other ones die of natural causes, or like were they murked?
Probably killed in duty, and
Oh, I see. Like they were still active after.
Yeah, they were. All of them were still active after. Usually, a team like that, if it's a good team, they'll be around for a decade or more.
Yeah,
Sometimes
it was
two.
SEAL Team 6 too, so they're the like tier
Yeah.
1. They're not like other SEAL teams are tier 2, but
Yet they didn't know they killed the wrong guy. I'm still confused by that. It's we got in a big argument. A friend of mine goes, "Well, how do you know they killed the wrong guy?" I said, "Because they didn't bring the body home, and they didn't even bring any blood home." I said it's bad enough. They said, "Okay, we had to dump the body because we didn't want to start a war." Bullshit. We were at war. What are you talking about? I mean, what do you mean start a war? We're already at war with these people. Oh, we're going to dump the body. So, and they said, "Oh, well, they did a blood test." I said, "Then why didn't they keep it?" There is no record anywhere. You can't find one anywhere. It's been subpoenaed at least 100 times. There is no record of any blood being taken from supposedly bin Laden at all. Plus, we know for a fact that he had at least, the CIA said he had 40 doubles, but the other agencies said he had about 20. Plus, we also knew the wives that were there that night was wife 3 and 4, and they said he never traveled without wife 1, ever. And she wasn't present, and neither was his kid. His top 3 kids weren't there either, and they said they were always with him. So, did they get a double? They probably did, and somebody probably more than likely he leaked it.
He's probably living in Brazil in an killer's
I would
lookout.
bet you money I would bet you money he leaked the location, and let him think it was him, and then and it might have been one of the alphabet agencies might have done it for him. Because everybody forgets he worked for us for a long time. We trained a dude.
He went to school in America for
we trained him,
wasn't it?
Yes, and then we put him in special forces, and then we trained him, and then we helped him to take over, and then he became a freaking terrorist because of us. He became a terrorist because we just basically put our foot up his ass. And then I'm not even sure if that wasn't an act. We need a bad guy over there. We always need to have something going on. So. We don't want to go starting a nuclear war. We don't, like Putin screaming every day, "I'm going to kill y'all." One of his aides said today, he just needs to target London and Helsinki and a couple other times, and just any American city. And I still remember the face on the British news report. He said, it's London's one thing, but then you said any American city. Do you have any idea what would happen if you just randomly nuke an American city? It's bad enough.
We'd randomly nuke all of Russia.
Yeah, all of Russia. There wouldn't be we wouldn't even care. I said there'd be no more Russia the next day. That's what she said. She goes, "It's bad enough if you nuked us because we would retaliate." He said, "The Americans got 5,000 nuclear weapons." No, nuke red. I like how she did it. It was kind of funny, but she was serious though, because we'd be like, "Excuse me, did you just randomly blow up a city and kill people?" It's one thing if you attack one of our bases. It's a whole nother thing if you go blowing up one of our cities, man, with people in them. We're going to get really pissed off. That's why the Twin Towers was so bad. And, people don't understand this. I was trying to make this to some of my friends the other day who are really mad at the Israelis right now. I said, "You remember what the Israelis did, right?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, I got this for you." I said, "They blew up 2 of our towers and killed 3,000, 4,000 people. We murdered millions of them." Literally, I said,
according to Brown University, 4.7 million people died as a result of that.
So millions we murdered. I said, after a while, it should have been enough blood for us, but it wasn't. So the Israelis, y'all want to get pissed. I said, they haven't even killed a couple of 20, 30, 40,000, now maybe a couple 100,000 by now. But I said, they went over there and crushed their babies' heads into the ground, shot at their teenagers at concerts. I said, do you know? I said, so you look at the Twin Towers. I said, think if a terrorist group came here and did that to our babies and shot up our teens at a concert. I said, we would wipe out the entire effing Middle East in probably a week. I said, it's not. I said, you
giant
can't
sheet of glass in minutes.
Said, when sometimes you sow what you reap, and in this case, it's exactly what's going on with the Palestinians. And it sucks that innocents get caught behind. But you know what? They should have kicked the Houthis out a long time ago, and they should be kicking them out right now. Israel shouldn't even be the ones in there kicking them out. The Palestinians should be kicking them out. The Palestinians should sell them out every time they see them somewhere.
I almost feel like it's being used as PR movements now. Like there's so much of it being like, I don't really go online too much, but there's a lot of pro this and pro that, whichever side, being spread all over the internet. And I almost wonder if people are figuring out a way to monetize the
it's a distraction.
unfortunate
distraction.
circumstances.
Yeah, so they're monetizing it. You can take that to the bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you noticed? I mean, she's right. Have you noticed how many advertisements there are for anti-Semitism and campaigns, and lots of them? Like, it's all of a sudden because of this. There's new resurgence in campaigns for anti-Semitism. And I'm like, well, how? When is this? Well, you didn't see these commercials for decades, and now they're back because of this. And there's nothing wrong with the Jews. They didn't start this, and they're the ones being yelled at the most.
Well, it's a tough thing. I mean, it's the problem here is nobody's innocent. That's really what the freaking problem is. You can't, when you look at this problem, you can't say the Palestinians are innocent. You cannot say the Israelis are innocent. Yeah, Israelis have had a shit life since Egyptian time. But hey,
it's just but what you can say is some are more innocent than others.
Yes, that is true.
But for some reason, and Americans understand this. I think the Europeans do for the thing. But when you kill babies, you just ask for everything that can possibly go bad for you.
But it's not just the fact that they killed the babies. First they set the baby on fire.
Yeah. Well, no, first they shot him, then they set him on fire, then they crushed their head.
They stamped on its head.
Yeah, and they stamped on their heads.
That's messed up. I don't care. I don't care what your race is.
They threw a baby in an oven and baked it.
Yeah, well, they did all kind of horrible shit.
Probably, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, no, they did a lot of horrible stuff to
I mean, the Germans killed them.
And they did it. Yeah, the Germans did. They did it for the shock value. That's why they killed the teenagers. They did it for.
Yeah, they wanted to provoke a response, but they didn't think the response was going to last this long.
Yeah,
they thought the bleeding hearts were going to come in and say, "Oh my God," all this stuff. And then, there's people like me who remember Palestinians dancing after 9/11. So it's just like, well, it's kind of too bad. I feel bad for you. But
I want a 5G bet on that. A friend of mine goes, well, the whole world said. I said, oh, no, they're not, my friend. I said, for some people, this is a celebration. Oh, Joe, no one's celebrating. I said, well, hold on. I said, hold on a minute. I said, wait. I said, how much money you want to pay? I put $5,000. I said, no, really, dude. He said, no. I said, really? I said, hold on. I said, oh, wait, is that Palestinians? Took him on YouTube. And he was just like, you're shitting me. I'm like, no. I said, they're celebrating because they hate us. And they hate us with a passion, even though you and I have never done anything to them. But our government is what?
I mean, we've done lots for them because we pay tax dollars and then they get our tax money.
Oh, yeah.
We've done plenty for Palestine.
What's that?
Oh, doesn't Israel get a bunch of tax money from us?
Oh, yeah, they get a bunch of tax money too.
They both do. They both do. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they both do.
Pakistan, going back to the bin Laden thing, Pakistan was given in that same year, I think, from us a grand total of $1 billion, 1 million of which of those dollars was made to use to make the complex where allegedly bin Laden was hiding out.
What is it about Israel that keeps us so allied and so closely, keeps them so closely guarded by us? Why?
There's a great answer for that, but I'm not touching that.
No, they're the underdog. That's really and truly why we
were the first ones to find them when we got into Germany.
Yes, well, go ahead, Sean, spit it out.
Okay, look at who's in the military. Okay, and then look at who's actually occupies a disproportionate number of civilian positions on the defense side. Right. So let's take neocons. Okay, Paul Wolfowitz. Jewish guy. Billy Crystal, Jewish guy. Victoria Nuland, Jewish woman. Right? So a lot of it is just, being driven by, it would be the same if you had a bunch of Irishmen in charge during the time of troubles. Right? And, it's not like there's not some deep set conspiracy. It's just you have people who are in these highly influential positions who are driving, U.S. foreign policy. So this is what you're going to get. And then you also have the Christian right as well.
Doesn't that sound self-serving? Doesn't that sound like it's like, okay, well, let's figure out what we can do to pass laws that will benefit our people and kind of.
It's 100% self-serving. It's 100% self-serving. But I don't want to make it sound like though that only one group does this. This is just classic group dynamics.
How the game is played by everyone.
Yeah,
mostly, yeah.
It's just some play it better than
others.
others.
Huddle with other like things and repel things that are not like them. It's just it's biological nature, I guess.
We need the alien. What was that? What was that alien movie? Oh man, they remade it with Keanu Reeves, but The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Day the Earth Stood Still with Gordon.
We need that. We need that alien guy to come down and say, "Okay, look, you dumb ass humans." Yeah, I mean, really. I mean,
speaking of which, did you see the Arrow report came out today?
No, I heard somebody said something about it earlier today.
Aliens. There's nothing out there, Joe. It's not. There's nothing.
Wait. So wait. No, wait. But this is what's so great. There's two stories we're going to be carrying today where they said they have found signs of alien life on other planets. One planet that's 120 light years away, twice the size of Earth, but almost identical to Earth. They have found chemicals in its atmosphere that can only be produced by something alive with technology. So they're contradicting themselves all over the place.
There's life on Mars. I mean, there's life on Mars.
Wait. I was going to tell you that's the other story. They found life on Mars. So
they did like during the Clinton administration, and they're just it was they put peroxide on it, right? And which basically, if you can have a life form that we do in the Arctic, that if you has a different kind of respiratory mechanism, and but if you put peroxide on it, it'll kill it. It'll get through. So about half of the samples that they didn't put peroxide on didn't show signs of life. The other half did show signs of life. So they're inconclusive, don't know what it is. And it's just no, you killed the samples.
Dying.
Do I, babe?
Right.
In order to show signs of life, you must die, is what that says.
Well, it's true, but so they found what they call them lichens, L-I-C-H.
Oh, lichen, yeah, lichen, yeah. Leah had it.
So
you and I both murdered it, Joe.
Well, and the bad part is I should know that we've talked about it so much.
I should know it too.
Not to be confused with werewolves.
Yes, so they they've recently found these on Mars. They're pretty sure they're legit. They were comparing them to ones on Earth. So we know. So I've been talking about the recession of the ice caps for decades. Because every time they recede, you see something black takes over and it expands. You know it's something alive because when it melts, there's some kind of fungus or legions. There's something down there that's expanded out, and then when it gets cold again, they shrink them, go away, and the ice covers it. But they showed some beautiful clouds on Mars the other day. It's so weird to see clouds on Mars, man. It's just weird.
I've actually seen a lichen ecology on some of the ski mountains in Colorado when we went there on a school trip. We went there in June, so there was still snow on the ground, but there were parts and patches where the green was coming back. And I swear I saw an iris flower that was that big between my fingers, less than an inch. And the full bloom iris, these iris had those bearded things that hang off them. They're beautiful flowers, but it was less than an inch. And lichens, for whatever reason, they just thrive in that kind of receding, cold and hot and wet thing all the time. So,
is it a fungus?
It might be. I don't know what it is. It might be a fungus.
It's a chlorophyll plant. It's a very, very small type of plant. And it's spelled L-I-C-H-E-N. But they are light absorbing biologics. Yeah.
So they found that, and then the first rover, the first landers, which is Viking, right? Which one's in? No, yeah, wait, I get them confused.
Yeah, I think it was Viking. Yeah,
so there's a
Viking 1 and 2, one's a Venus.
Yeah. So So what's out that we got way out in space right now?
Voyager 1 and 2.
Voyager.
So that is Vikings. So there was 2 Vikings. So they went
Viking
to Mars.
1 and 2 went to Venus. Both failed.
But they had versions that went to Mars, because the first one that went to Mars landed on Mars. Well, as it was landing, it experienced a pocket of oxygen and then a pocket of methane, and neither one can be made without some type of life. So you really, unless you got some rocks that had some oxygen in it that escaped, it's really only made by life. And methane pretty much only really comes from usually things that are dying and rotten and things like that. So,
and they also have a seasonal methane cycle.
They do,
which means
they got
are
oxygen and a seasonal. Yeah. So there's a couple of plumes they see every year. They're not exactly, they're narrowing them down each year, but they haven't quite figured out where they are. The plumes are pretty big, which suggests whatever this is on the ground is pretty damn big. It's probably like some kind of water. It's probably a big area where there's water underneath there, and half full, or maybe an aquifer of some kind. I have no doubt there's liquid water under the ground on Mars, because there's 2 big ice caps. And every now and then you see what looks like recent signs of water on the surface of Mars. So whatever ice is on there, because they found recently one of the rovers, well, the only one that's left now, found signs just recently of something that looked like it had melted and ran down the side of a mountain cliff. Then you got to watch. I mean, there's other things that could be on Mars, but more than likely, and they did find out there's still some thermal activity on Mars, which I heard my entire life the bitchin' planet was dead.
Well, we've heard throughout all of school, grade school, junior high, high school, even college, we were taught there's no atmosphere on the moon, no atmosphere on Mars, which is a lie. They both have very, very faint atmospheres. Mars actually has a bigger atmosphere than the moon. The moon, I think, only has a mild magnetosphere. So there's no oxygen, but there is at least a magnetic atmosphere enough to deflect certain radiations. We still need to wear suits, but at some point it could probably be, geoformed back. But Mars is closer to ours. It just needs a tweak, and we can breathe without apparatuses. The gravity is another thing. We won't be able to, unless you're born there. You won't have natural musculature for it. You'll always bounce around.
You'll be like He-Man.
You'll be like He-Man. You won't need stairs. Hey, I'm gonna go up to the third floor. Yeah. You're up.
Jump up there.
Yeah, but you might go blind a lot sooner.
You could,
because your blood's gonna pool in your head. It's like a huge problem.
Well, that's an easy thing to fix though. Just hang yourself up from the ceiling by your feet. That's what astronauts do in space. That's how they do it. Mm-hmm. No, Christopher, I'm being serious. No, you have never. Okay, when the old days they would show you, but now in the Skylab, which was a different space station we had, they would show you it all the time. But even the new one, or I shouldn't say new one anymore, it's old. They'll show you. They'll be hanging upside down. I was watching this chick the other day. She's hanging upside down. Her hair's like pluming. She's trying to tie it up because it's got her whole entire face. She looked like damn one of the atoms.
They have a Velcro wall in the backs of their suits. Is the loopy part, the hard part of the Velcro, and they just go. Yeah, you can go upside down and get your brain straight. Yeah, I've seen pictures. I think they have it on the shuttles even. You can hang upside down.
They did. Yeah, because they actually want you to. And no, they even on the space station they've got a treadmill up there. Yeah, you can tread. It's
Are they
have to strap you down to it though.
Down? Yeah, tethered down.
Yeah, you can be tethered down. You're graduated to it, so there's resistance.
they want you to get as much muscle exercise as you can because without it they were showing atrophy
within minutes.
Pretty bad after being up there for a year and stuff. I mean,
well, you start showing that within minutes of being in that atmosphere.
And I forgot how long it's up, but if you're up for more than like a month or something, you actually grow 2 inches.
What about the radiation damage?
Well, it depends where you are. It depends what you're in and where you are compared to where you could be. So everybody always talks about the Van Allen belt. Obviously, it's not that big of a problem because our astronauts live to be pretty old. I mean, everybody.
But if you're on Mars, you live a lot closer to Jupiter, which is just radiating.
Well, see, Mars has got a couple of issues. One, we can take care of that problem pretty easy. So one of the original programs was because we're going to be, whatever's being mined in the asteroid belt, that's going to probably be being refined on Mars. So they're going to be pumping greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. But worse than what the original plan was is to build these. They're like giant tanks that just roll around eating dirt and heating it up and burning and turning it into greenhouse gas. And everybody's like, greenhouse gas? Yeah, well, greenhouse gas is good for us. It does 2 things. It protects us from the radiation and it lowers the pressure enough that we can walk around without suits on. Because the pressure is different on Mars. Right now, we have to wear a suit. So, but by doing that, you can lower the pressure and you can start walking around. After that point, you can start thinking about terraforming. But you've got to get it to the point where you're being protected. Because why start planting things if the radiation is going to kill them immediately? So you got to get to those 2 things done, and that's a fair. They can do that in under 100 years. They can pump enough greenhouse gas in the atmosphere in less than 100 years to accomplish that. Now, everybody out here, when they start talking about oxygen, are usually like 1,000 years out. That doesn't mean we might not find a technology or get a super plant.
Well, we do have the technology. They have those portable technologies for the not COVID, but COPD patients. It's a generator. It's a little white box. I mean, it's no bigger than like a purse, really. I mean, but it's a big plastic thing that generates oxygen. I don't know how it works. They don't have to buy a bottle every couple of hours and change it every whatever. They just have this little white box that allows them to walk through the mall. So, have you ever seen anybody? My friend from Maryland, his mom is not doing well. She's on oxygen, and it's a 200-pound bottle. You have to have a wheelchair to move that around. But yet there's these little portable things. They're out there.
Well, things are getting more advanced, and we'll know because Elon's going, or at least somebody from Elon's family is going. So I watched their plan the other day. So they're building 100 of these starships. 100 to 150 starships is what they're building. Wow. And the reason why is they want to always have 50 going back and forth all the time, and at least 50 in reserve for other things they might need. He's serious about this.
What fuel type are they using? What's the fuel, like energy source?
I think they're solid rockets. Solid
rockets to get them in space.
Solid fuel. Yeah.
Yeah, they're using solid fuel to get them. I think some of them might be. These rockets are a little bit bigger.
It might be a combo of solid and liquid fuels, but they're using fossil fuel, no question.
But when you get into space, he's not using it anymore. I think he's going to go with plasma when he's in space.
Plasma or ion, yeah.
But the drive he's talking about can get us there in 36 days. Now, when they first go with this, it's actually when we get real close. What is it, in 10 years? We can actually get there in less than 20 days. So they want to set this up so that we're.
I thought it was like a 2-year trip if we were to go by conventional rocket power.
Conventional rocket power. You can get to Jupiter in 2 years on conventional rocket power. Oh no, you can't. That's light speed power. Never mind. I apologize. No. The longest estimate. The longest estimate I've heard to Mars was 9 months originally. That's changed now because they're going to double slingshot us. So they're gonna get you cruising with the plasma. They're going to slingshot you, and your ass is going to be cruising. So
by the time you get there.
Yeah. Well, he's saying 1/4 light speed, which gets us there in virtually no time at all. I'm thinking an 1/8 light speed is what's going to really be, which makes it about a 28-day trip. One way.
To Mars?
Yeah, one way. Which also gets rid of the problem of having to deal with the long-term radiation in deep space.
And also the long-term gravity problem, too.
And long-term feeding problems. You either have to sleep the whole way if it's 28 days, or you have to have 20 days of food. Plus how many days you're going to be there.
These are the technologies we're going to use to do the stepping stones in another 50 years to get out to Proxima and places like that. We're just going to build our way out of, just like we did. And I try to get this across to people all the time. I said, we're going to do in space just like we did on Earth. We're going to go to this island, then to that. No, well, we don't have to. We'll find planets we need, but we're going to go just like we did here. We left Europe. We stopped at this island. We stopped at that island. We stopped at this island. We stopped at here. We stopped at there. We stopped at here. Yeah, and then we found this and we worked our way down. Yeah. And we'll just, so what's going to really happen is they're building the base on the moon. They're building the one on Mars. They're going to build a launching zone in zone L11 because it's a straight shot down the center of the galaxy. It actually picks up speed if you do it that particular way. Something about some current that'll help you ride out the solar system. But regardless, so we'll do that. We already plan on mining because, we found 2 asteroids that are worth more money than we can ever make in our entire existence as humans. That's how much they're worth. You don't think some greedy bastard's not going to get those? You can bet your ass somebody's going to get those. Plus, God knows what else is out there and what it's worth. So we'll be building mining facilities in the asteroid belt. We'll be putting little bases out there. Boom. We're going to be on Titan. We're going to be on Io. Bam, bam. We'll have places there. Next thing you know, we'll have one on Charon, one on Pluto, somewhere out in the Oort cloud. When we get to the end of the Oort cloud, we're 1.85 light years from Proxima Centauri B. That's it. You go out a light year and put another base. Now you're 0.8 light years from Proxima. That means 2-year trip at top speed. Bam, bam, bam. So what'll happen is you leave Earth. You might stop at Mars for a while. You might stop at Io for a while. You might stop here, somewhere around Saturn over here somewhere, or one of these other moons over here. And then poof, you stop out in Oort cloud. Next thing you know, you'll be halfway to Proxima Centauri. And then you'll be at Proxima and you might be going on further somewhere else. It's stepping stones, and you may end up spending 20 years traveling somewhere, but you'll get there until we figure out how to either do light faster than light speeds, or dimensional jumps, or wormholes, or something. But it's not going to keep us. So most people don't realize this. Before they upgraded the galaxy to 160 light years across, it was 100 light years across. So even at half light speed, you can explore the entire known galaxy in 500,000 years.
Oh, only.
Hey, but think about it. We're already almost 500,000 years old. We're going to live, we're already older than that. We're 2 million years old. We're going to live another 3 billion years on this planet unless we blow it up. That means we could have explored the galaxy how many thousands of times. The reason I'm bringing this up because if you're an advanced race that's been around 500 million years or so, you've explored the galaxy. You probably got outposts all over the freaking place.
They probably can span any side of the galaxy within hours.
But the point being means is you don't have to have faster than light travel, just faster than light communication, tachyon communication. Because if you've got bases and ships everywhere, you just call Johnny up the road. Hey Johnny, Leah's speeding there about Mach 2.5 or light speed 8.
I wish.
Be sure to pull her ass over, write her a ticket. It is a stepping stone theory. It is the way we're going to get in space. It's one of the reasons I like near science fiction because it's what we talk about how we're going to get in space. If you watch The Expanse or Babylon 5 or any of those shows, even that stupid Earth 1999, it's the way humans will get into space. We will stop here. And the reason we do that is we can build resource centers along the way. We can have material places, if somebody gets stuck,
we can also
we can go rescue their ass.
We can find other materials we don't have natural to our Earth. I mean, our table of the elements is not complete.
And they're pretty sure there's life.
There are elements on there that we can make that aren't on there, and there are other elements that we can find that are natural on other denser planets that we don't have in our table.
And they're pretty sure there's life in those other two oceans that they know of. So, and then what is that one, Cirrus? They keep having weird lights there that keep changing.
Ceres, the protoplanet, moon.
They don't. Yeah, it's. I don't know if it's a planet. Well, it's almost whatever the hell it is.
It's a is it an Oort cloud or no? It's whatever the belt is that Pluto's in. They call it a protoplanet.
It's in the Kuiper belt.
Kuiper belt. Thank you. That's the one.
What is that, Johnny? No, there's three. There's the asteroid field between Mars and Jupiter. There's the Kuiper belt, and then there's the Oort cloud.
3 debris fields.
Yeah, that's supposed to be leftover remnants of when our galaxy formed. Stuff that
Kuiper belt is probably a broken up planet. The asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter is definitely a broken up planet.
Yeah. They tried to say it wasn't, but now they found proof that it was a planet at least 5 times the size of Earth.
Yep, and Venus is not native to our solar system.
Venus?
It's not native to our solar system. Every planet, every moon in this solar system, except for our moon and Venus, all rotate counterclockwise, and they go counterclockwise or clockwise around the sun. But our planets rotate counter. All the planets. There's one moon that rotates the same direction as all of our planets, but something knocked it on its side, and that's one of the moons of Uranus. But the moon, our moon, that is the only circular orbited object in the entire universe that we know. All other orbits in the universe are elliptical or egg-shaped.
Yep.
Our moon's is almost perfectly circular.
It's very
strange.
It is
also exactly perfectly the same size it needs to be at the range where it is to create the effect of solar eclipses upon the Earth. And they're starting to get out of whack. They're not all quite 100% anymore. And then the other thing is that's really weird is Venus rotates completely the opposite direction of every planet on this solar system. So it came from somewhere else. And it's a solar system that's formed in a different Coriolis effect direction.
Is it traveling in the same direction, though?
It is traveling the same direction around the sun as all the other planets, but the rotation of the planet itself is the opposite of all the other planets. It rotates clockwise where we rotate counterclockwise.
On its own axis.
On its own axis.
So wait, why is Mercury still a planet if Pluto's not a planet?
Because Mercury's on fire, I think.
But it's a little tiny little.
I think it's actually
must
smaller
be bigger
than Pluto.
Well,
yeah.
Isn't Pluto like even that much significantly smaller than even Mercury?
It might be. It's. I know it's pretty small because
Pluto's actually closer to the size of our moon.
Isn't it now a quote unquote planetoid?
Planetoid, protoplanet. Yeah, it's got several different names.
Yeah,
why did they have to change it? It was just a planet. Like growing up as a planet.
Because they didn't want you to find Planet X, So now you got to find Planet 9
and B. They used to all be called planets in the Sumerian. So even the sun,
man,
the Sumerian is called a planet.
What do you mean, Jimmy? Chance of life for what? The universe? Our galaxy has life, and the universe is probably teeming with it.
It is replete with life.
I would bet you $1 million that they'll find life in at least 7 or 8 different places in our solar system. Easy, probably more than that. I know at least 4 of the moons between Saturn and Jupiter are going to have life on them. We're pretty sure Mars does. And they have seen things in the upper atmosphere of Venus that look like they're flying. So, well, in case you don't know, Venus's upper atmosphere is identical to Earth. So at one time, it was like this planet.
It is covered with noxious greenhouse gases, but of the type of greenhouse gases that are only produced by biological mechanisms, not mechanical. So whatever is creating the atmosphere on Venus, it's biological, which means it could be viruses, it could be mold, mildew, lichens. We don't know.
So anyway, people, you're going to find a lot more life than you think. You mean, so I will predict this. I've said this a million times, so it's not really a prediction. They're going to find artifacts on Mars. Well, let me say this first. They're going to find ruins on Mars first. Okay, now there's been a big argument that ruins have already been found, and I could argue yes or no on that. I've done a lot of Mars work. I even still date craters from Mars for NASA, and I still run my SETI stuff, which has got to be well over 1 trillion hours now. It's but there's going to be life there's probably really advanced life on Mars at one time, and now it's whatever's there is whatever there. But they're going to find a remnants of a civilization much older than anything on Earth. I'm talking much, much older than anything on Earth. If you give humans 2 million years, this is going to probably be on a magnitude of 100 times older than we are. So then you have to ask yourself, where'd they go? Did they die? Did they die when our planet went? Yeah, well, that's the thing. Did they come here? They might have come here. We don't know. We won't know until we get over there and have a good look around and see. Well, these bodies, the ones we're wearing right now, are not really suited for Mars. Grays would be, but they talk about the gray aliens. They would be perfectly suited for Mars, but not us so much. These bodies are not really designed.
But they would still need oxygen and a pressure suit. Yes.
No, I don't think they'd need a pressure, but they need oxygen. Yeah, they're got cartilage, not bones. I don't think the pressure would phase them the way it phases us. It'd be a different kind of thing.
They're squishy.
Yes, they are squishy. Rays and the reptilians and humans, they might still need suits on Mars. I don't know how much pressure they can take over what we can take. That would be anybody's guess. So Joe Biden is a reptilian? No, he's not a reptilian. Reptilians are not that stupid.
Not that. You can't be that much of a buffoon.
No, and I don't think any alien race would be that dumb. I just.
Is he a first gen android? Like, is he a first gen organic?
That's a good point. Maybe he is. Maybe he's a first gen android that got left out in the rain too long.
Yeah, he got left for too long.
It's sometimes when it comes to all these politicians, you just have to take a break sometimes and say, "Excuse me, y'all are all on crack. Share your good drugs with the rest of the country, then maybe we won't care what the hell you're doing."
Yeah,
it's just it just seems to get worse. So it's like it gets better for a little while, and then it just seems to get worse. Now, I couldn't tell you. So there was a big argument the other day on who was the last uniter president in this country. And of course, it's going to be Reagan and Clinton.
Yeah.
Could be. Now, you can say Baby Bush, and we've had this conversation before, but Baby Bush was only a uniter because somebody attacked our country. If nobody would have attacked our country, they would have been divided just like they had been before.
Yeah, and they might also have been for the most a little bit, afraid of, Daddy Bush too, because he was still around.
Plus, Baby Bush had Darth Cheney on board.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, Darth Cheney, we don't want to make him upset. No. Trump wasn't scared of Darth Cheney. Trump was like, bite me, big boy.
Yeah.
I was like, what's that, Janine? Trump's got his hands full. He's going to win the primaries hands down with no problems at all. He's going to be an unchallenged winner. His biggest worry is can somebody get a felony on him before the election? And it can't just be any felony. Believe it or not, you can be president with a felony, which I'm still amazed to find out myself. But certain felonies you can't. And if any kind of resurrection charges go through, like this June 6th stuff from D.C., he can't run. He's out. And then who will be president? I don't even know who the Republicans would put up.
Yeah.
Nikki Haley?
No, they don't. I don't know if they like Nikki Haley enough. I think they would go with DeSantis first. I think they would go with the governor of Florida. I
think he'd be the next best choice for them.
He always looks like he's about to cry to me. Like he looks like he's on the verge of tears.
Well, his wife's dying of cancer.
Oh shoot! Well, that makes sense.
He's like, well, shit. It's his problem is he doesn't have a really good voice. if you're going to be the problem with being in public these days, it's not in the old days when it was about what you knew and the skills you had. Today, you have to sound good in order to be in any political office. That's how Obama excelled while he was in there, because everybody said, well, he sounds really good. Well, he sucked as a president, but yeah, he did sound good.
But he also knew how to face towards the camera.
Yeah, good. He had good speechwriters too. So I mean, it makes a difference. It's a shame that our country has gotten that way, but
so JFK Jr.'s out from your theory of being a
you mean Kennedy?
Yeah,
Kennedy's
not JFK, but yeah,
Kennedy's. Well, last I checked, he was pulling about 10 or 12% of the vote. So when we did, which we'll do in a little while, when we did the whatchamacallit polls last week, anytime they had Kennedy in there, Trump was winning by 8 to 10, maybe even 12 points, because Kennedy was stealing that many points away from the
I think the most we saw him at was around 15, 16.
Yeah, so that's what he was averaging. I think he was averaging somewhere around between 12 and 16 points takeaway. So he was taking some from Trump too, but not the kind of numbers he needs to be president of the United States. He needs way, way more than that. So right now, currently, on the electoral map, Trump has got 290 electoral votes. So he's already won the election. He is leading in 7 swing states that Biden took last time. He's leading in 7 of those states by 8 or more points.
Why do people think that Trump is going to be the president to fix what's going on in the
because he did last time.
We have the proof. He did it last time. Yeah,
he did it last time. He fixed the economy. Gas down here was down to 99 cents a gallon.
The lowest it was here was $1.89.
I mean, the economy was strong. Everybody was making good money. They were setting records all over the place and all sorts of stuff. And people are scared to go to war with Trump. Because Trump, it looks like a president who might just blow you. Well, he proved his point to Xi Jinping while having dinner with him. He raised up a nuclear submarine, emptied the entire payload on a submarine on the Syrian army, and just laid their asses to waste while he was having an expensive dinner with Xi Jinping. He showed who he was. And then it was like 6 months later, he brought up 3 nuclear submarines around China, one on each coast and one on the side on the China Sea, and said, don't forget, we have these, Mr. Ping.
Mm-hmm.
He was letting the world know, don't with me, I will kill you. And look what happened in North Korea. He told Kim Jong-un, I will send someone to take you out tomorrow. Poof. He disappeared for 3 years.
Yeah.
no one's seen him for 3 years. His sister took over running the country. Trump is a scary bastard.
As Biden said, I do, boom, he's out of the closet.
Yeah, he was out threatening to launch nuclear weapons on us. He quit saying that immediately when Trump said, I'll have you killed. He was like, wait a minute, this dude will have me killed. And even if Trump wasn't going to, he didn't know it. So he just – Trump is different like that. Trump's biggest problem is he's very crude. And he likes being that way.
He doesn't know how to talk to the common person. Yeah, I don't think.
He does. He just don't want to. That's not who Trump is. Trump is that outgoing, egotistical bastard, narcissist who wants to just, say what he wants to say, which is fine, especially if you got a good VP. But he did things that no other president did before him. So we'll see what happens this time. But you can pretty much tell you the
who's his VP running with him? Is there one?
Not yet. No, he ain't bringing that Pincey Wincy back. I know that. We're not even going to talk about Pence, people. No, Pence is a traitor dog. No, he's a traitor dog.
And he was too religious.
The last one I heard him talking about was Tulsi Gabbard. I'd like to see her run with him because she's an ex-Democrat.
I like her.
Yes, and she's an ex-Dem, so she would help him in a couple of ways. Nikki Haley said she won't endorse him now, no matter what. That he's just an evil bastard, so she's out.
He would
and that, but she was stupid when she said that. He controls the party. I mean, 90% of the party said they're going to vote for him no matter what. Some Democrat the other day said, "Well, he's down like 5%." The lady said 90% said they're going to vote for him. 90%. He said, "How many Democrats are they going to vote for Biden?" Oh, 50. He said, she's like. So people try to change the outcome of things because to make it fit their candidate, but Biden's in serious trouble. The only thing they can really save Biden right now is if Trump goes to jail. That's about it.
There's a very real chance they'll cook something up and make sure that happens too.
The Jack Rush guy's trying to find other information because he's scared that the Supreme Court's going to throw his cases out. And every time I hear about this Georgia girl, Now we found out that she met with Kamala Harris before she brought charges on Trump.
Oh, great.
This shit gets better every time you hear about her.
Wow.
But it's still 50-50 if she's going to keep the case, though.
They're just winning the presidency for him. Everything that happens from here out.
Yeah. I mean, that's so democratic, to try to knock somebody out of a democratic election through lawfare. I mean, it's just so democratic,
Well,
so
they've
noble,
been pulling some
so
shit
brave
for a while now, and I mean, I don't know why all of a sudden they've got. It just makes you sound like you're scared. You're scared you can't win on a fair thing. And the thing of it is, what bothers me is they always win the popular vote. They just don't win the electoral college vote.
Yeah.
And but still, it's one of those things. But anyway, we got to go take a break right quick. I got to go backwards. Rewind. All right, I'm back. Anyway, we got to take a break right quick. Whatever, Christopher. You got any big chicken shits? Come in the chat room and say that. Yeah, you wuss. Anyway, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in a few minutes. We're going to leave y'all with Ramstein in just a second. They'll be joining.
Ramstein.
Yes, Ramstein. They're live for us tonight. They like Sean so much. They were like, "Oh my God, Sean's on tonight. We're coming to do the video for you live on your show." What was that, Jessica? Yeah, really, that's true.
Yeah,
yes.
Nicht in English, auf Deutsch. Yeah, they told me in German, just not in English.
That's right.
Because they don't speak English.
Right.
No
speaking, no English. Anyway, guys and girls, we're going to put this on. We'll be back in 3 or 4 minutes, and we'll see y'all then. Hope y'all enjoy the music. Stay out of trouble. Now, they're a little violent in these people, so don't go smashing nobody's cars up or anything, okay? We're not responsible for what happens when you listen to this music. But anyway, we'll be right back, so stay tuned. Dun, dun, dun. Man, it's Rammstein, man. It's Rammstein. Everybody give a round of applause. Everybody give a round of applause. Yeah, there y'all go. A round of applause. Some pause. Yes, guys, they get played on this show every week or 2 or 3. It depends what we're playing. I think the last time we played it was Du Hast. The time before that was the Dark.
Was the last one.
Well, now I know for sure how to say their name.
Rammstein.
Yeah.
Rammstein.
It's not
yeah, no, it's like the old classic joke in Mel Brooks, Frankenstein, Steen. Frau Blucher, and then the horse would go.
So you like, all sweaty Maria. Hey, whatever you like, just go over to Germany. He's there. I don't know if they do American tours. I've never heard them do English ever. Now I've heard some of their music translated into English.
Yeah,
maybe it was this thing you're doing it, but Du Hast is basically "I hate you" is basically what it means. I mean, that's pretty much what "I hate you" is pretty much the whole song.
Yeah,
yeah. That is, but I guess maybe he met Joe Biden in the past. Oh shit! Now you know where the song came from. I'm sorry. Okay, Christopher, real quick, we'll do some fast Ukrainian updates. Yes, the Ukraine sunk yet another Russian ship in the Black Sea.
Hot damn! Way to go, Zelensky.
So the Ukrainians went out and set up some howitzers.
Howitzers?
So yeah, paper ones or wooden ones.
Oh,
to trick the Russians. To trick the Russians to show where they were, so they could go blow them up and kill them all.
Wait!
I used to do that all the time to the U.S. military. I would fight as the Russians, and I would do that. I would have like fake tank turrets and stuff like that.
Didn't we do that though? Like in Normandy, the same thing.
Yeah, what works is a trick that works.
Yeah, absolutely, it works on us too. It works really well.
It works on us. Yeah, it works on it. Yeah. It's because, well, oh no, wait, Peter. Okay, so there's some new stuff that came out about 4 years ago. I forgot what they call it. It's a new type of radar that can ping stuff. It can tell you what the material is made out of that it hits. So if it's wood or paper, you can tell now. But when you're cruising along at 50 miles an hour, your little tank bouncing up, I don't know how accurate that shit's going to
and you're only trained to key in on a particular silhouette. You're not looking for movements. Oh, there's a silhouette.
Actually, Mark, I was very impressed the first time I seen them Abrams in Desert Storm cruising and have full out shooting shit and blowing it up. I was stunned. I was like, what the hell? This changing warfare for sure here. No, they were blowing shit up all over the place. They had the Iraqis were so scared because you just had a mass of U.S. armored vehicles cruising along at 50 miles an hour, just shooting shit and blowing it up. And I didn't even think at that point. I had heard Storm and Norman talking that we had put some new technologies in that supposedly allowed our tanks to fire on the run. Yeah, sometimes I hear stuff like that, and then that's not always what it turns out to be, or it's not quite what it says it is. Like them, what do they call those? You'll probably know, Sean. They call those explosive packs they like to put on tanks.
Reactive armor. Armor.
So I've heard good and bad things about those things. So I don't know, man. I'm not sure where to go.
I wouldn't. If I were an infantryman, I wouldn't want to be anywhere near one of those like tanks with reactive armor.
Well, I bet you not, because it explodes out at a pretty good force. What I understand.
Yeah, you're a secondary casualty, no problem.
No, Reese. So basically, what they do is when something hits them, they explode outward to keep it from going inside the tank. If it works, it works.
It's like a Russian thing. It's a Russian thing. It's not an American thing.
It's I've heard of electronic armor and stuff like that. The U.S. has got a lot of things it's working on, but how many are actually where they are and where they're not? So you never know with the U.S. government. Sometimes you don't think they have something and they do, like the railguns. Everybody said we don't have no railguns. Come to find out, we got like 11 of them now. I'm like, really? They're and half of them ain't even mounted on anything.
Yeah, they've been testing them for a long time.
Yeah,
they've been testing them.
Well, they were on the Zimwalt. They had them on the they put them on the Zimwalt, and then they took them off because they said they cost too much to shoot. And then this shit started with the Ukraine again, and a poster came out across one of the things I'm connected to, saying that one of them was put back on the Zimwalt. These things have like 150-mile range, and at 150 miles, they can penetrate your ship from one side and go right through the other side.
Yeah, it's just a pure kinetic hit. They just try to get like a tiny ball of like metal and accelerate it to some fraction of the speed of light.
So the ones they're shooting out of the
actually
things,
an aluminum rod about yay big.
Yeah, well, the ones they're shooting out of the ones that were shooting on the Zimwalt were fairly decent size, but I know. So their deal was, this is how they looked at it. So they showed you one image of this. Is one of the very first videos they ever did when it was on the Zimwalt. They went out to the test range, not far from Bikini Atoll, by the way. Pulls up. Now it's cruising along. The little ship, it's it looked like maybe a cruiser type from maybe World War II Korea or something. It's cruising along this way. I think it was being towed actually, and another one's cruising this. And you see the Zimwalt go. It didn't even hardly make any noise, and then you see the ship go. It just cut it in half like it was butter. I mean, it wasn't even hardly any noise from it. It just, it was literally like 5 shots and the thing just collapsed. I was like, so I'm thinking, so they said even a modern day carrier could cut a modern day carrier in half in about 2 minutes. I was like, you gotta be shitting me. That doesn't mean it's going to sink, Jackie. Carriers are a really strange beast. If everything's shut and it becomes just a big, matter of fact, to put this to help you understand this. So at Bikini Atoll, we were using nukes to blow up ships to see what would happen to them. But when all the hatches was closed on the ship, even when that was nuked, sometimes it would just turn into a big air ball. It would just melt into like a ball. But since everything was closed, it was unsinkable. Yeah, so you couldn't sink it no matter what you did.
Which was the concept behind the original Titanic, but
Titanic, they messed up and left the top open. I don't know what the hell that was.
It didn't react in time. Yeah, it was too late. Yeah.
Yeah. Raymond. So the Titanic would have been unsinkable, but they had the upper walls. The water just overtopped them. They weren't connected, so the water from one compartment overtopped the other one by going over the top of them.
And automatic doors trapped millions or hundreds of people behind.
It was a sad. It was just a design flaw is what it was. No, I don't know who thought about it. Well, you know what? You see some stupid, like, okay, we go build up. Well, how much that carrier costs us? $14 billion. Can it launch an F-35? Oh shit, no, it can't. How in the hell do we build a $14 billion aircraft carrier that can't launch one of our top jets?
Well, how long do they take to build though? How long do they take? If they take 10 years to build.
But it don't matter. Maybe. They knew we had the F-35 for at least 10 years. I mean, come on.
Did I see a video of that where one just like flew by it and couldn't stop and just kept going?
They could probably land on it, but they can't take off. Is what the problem is. And then
they're not short takeoff.
Oh wait, so the new one, which I can't remember which one is the Ray. Anyway, we had the new carrier coming out. They were in one of the rivers the other day, launching cars off of it to see if the catapult was working. I'm not shitting y'all. They were launching cars off of it. I was like, sometimes I just wonder. Yeah, I'm just wondering Well, I guess a car, if it
technique.
weighs the same as a jet, I guess it's okay. No, the F-22s can take off on a carrier, and they can land on a carrier too. But they don't like using them on them. The F-22 and F-35 were really not initially designed to be carrier jets.
They're too large. They take up too much space. You wouldn't be able to launch as much of a.
They don't. That's the thing. So the Navy requires all of its jets wings to fold because it needs the space. And on those two jets, neither one of them. They do have an F-22 now that has the tips that fold, so that's a plus. So they could probably get them on there. But the F-22 is the most beast aircraft ever built. Screw the F-35. I ain't got nothing on the F-22. You ask a pilot in a dogfight, do you want to be an F-35? F-22 is going to tell you F-22 every time. Every time it's going to be like, no, I know who's going to win this fight. Well, the long range system on the F-22 is actually longer than the F-35 because of fuel requirements and weight requirements of its rockets. So the F-22 can actually carry rockets in or out of it's got an inner payload and an outer payload.
Yep.
F-35 only has an inner payload, so it's a little different. So they're seriously badass. They're just seriously badass jets. But for some reason, we opted to go with more of the F-35s, which is a badass jet. I don't want to take nothing away from it.
But I don't think it has the same capabilities as the F-22. Allegedly, the F-22 can cloak itself from not only electronic devices, but direct observation. You can be looking at it, and they can go sit and turn invisible in front of you.
It was a different design. We only got like 140 of them anymore now. Well, we sold them to other people too, but and we're going to keep them for another 22 years, I think they said, and then we're going to retire them. But then they can always put them back in production if they needed to. But they're scarily badass. They snuck up on that Russian Su-57. That dude. So you see this NATO picture, right? So these two Russian. This is worse than the Phantom one, which we'll talk about that one too. So you see these two Sarkos cruising along, trailing. It looked like some type of I think it was like a British spy plane or something. It was just tagging on the trail. And they were coming up behind them, being smartasses because you could hear the chatter on the radios. They were muffling it, so we couldn't hear what they were telling the British plane. Then all of a sudden, they don't even know they're back there, man. I mean, these are the most advanced jets Russia's got. Most advanced radar, most advanced everything. All of a sudden, you hear the F-22 pilot said, maybe you should look behind you or maybe you should just go home. And all of a sudden, you see both the SUs just peel off and they go out like that. And they realize, and you hear the target locks on the F-22s just beeping away. These guys are dead. If they wanted them, they were dead. I mean, there was nothing they could have done. They were too close to them. There was nothing. They could have took them out with their machine guns, much less. It was embarrassing for the Russians. You know, at least with the Iranians, it was a couple of our old F-4 Phantoms. I mean, come on, what do you expect the F-4 Phantom to have? You know, back in the day, yeah, but today that's nothing. They're great planes, but
it's not a fair fight for them.
No, the funny part is the F-22 was flying underneath it. It was just cruising underneath it.
Great. I mean,
he could have reached out the cockpit and slapped the fan. It was freaking hilarious. And the bad part is the other guy was just tipped up on the. I don't know how he didn't see him. I'm thinking, Jesus, thank God y'all aren't in our Air Force, man. I'm like, Lord.
Well, either they're not very good observational pilots, those two Russians, or like I said, he came in with the full cloak on. You couldn't see him until he turned that one off, and then boom, he's visible. That's how the scenario reads out when you read the articles on that.
And one of the best praises the F-22 got was from the Chinese general in charge of the Air Force. He said, it is the best plane on the air anywhere. He said, nothing comes close to it right now. He said, we're working on a Gen 6, but currently nothing comes close. Even they know, just leave it alone and it won't kill you. That's how they look at it. But see, Trump's going to come back in and have these things at his disposal. So, Brian, Trump wasn't a drone president. That was Obama. Trump just he didn't go killing people indiscriminately over there. The only reason he shot those 90 cruise missiles off that night, I forgot something had happened. It was just retaliation from the U.S. It was just to teach him a lesson that we can kill you from anywhere, basically, is what the lesson was. And since Xi Jinping was a good dual lesson, he got to teach the Syrians and Xi Jinping, hey, don't screw with us. We will kill you. He just wanted to prove a point that he'll kill you. And he meant it. He just wanted the world to know, I'm not Obama. I'm not this. I'm not going to hide behind scenes when I kill you. I'm going to just kill you. And he wanted the point made. And that was enough to get the world to kind of chill out and go. And now he's got Angela Merkel came out and said she misjudged him immensely.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best presidents the United States has ever had. And this was the German chancellor
they
for
were
what,
toe to
8 years?
toe when he
Oh,
was
yeah,
in.
they were like
They hated
headbutting.
each other.
I remember when they're at the UN, they like about to headbeat each other. I was putting my money in Angela too, man. She looked like she might take him.
Oh yeah, the pictures with him and all the delegates together when he's in the
only one.
they have these fake forced smiles.
Well, he got up and he told them that by getting rid of nuclear power, like it was an incredibly stupid thing to do. They're going to be beholden to Russian energy supplies, right? Natural gas. And the Russians are going to use it to choke them. And that's exactly what they did. It's exactly what the Russians did.
And he told her flat out that night, or that day, he said, I can't believe you're buying, he called Russia our enemies. He said, I can't believe you're buying oil from our enemies. And strengthen our enemies is actually what he said. And he made a valid point. I mean, we were helping Russia build themselves up at the expense of everybody else. Now we're finding out that I don't know what's going on with Russia. This Russia bothers me in the sense that, okay, I understand when we have these mock wars, like when the United States does, we don't commit our entire forces. I mean, Desert Storm, we committed a decent chunk of our forces to prove a lesson over Vietnam. Vietnam taught us a lesson. Don't go to war if you're going to F around. Go to win or don't go at all. So, Desert Storm was just that. Storm and Norman went in and said, watch this. It was great to watch on TV. 6 months, we pretty much had just wiped out the largest standing army in the world at the time. Which was both owned by us and the Russians, and still wiped it out, and hardly lost any soldiers. What was it, 2,800 in the beginning? I think 8,600 total. I mean, that's nothing in a war. I mean, I don't want
0 planes.
Well, I mean, I don't want to.
Oh, you mean in the first Persian Gulf War, we lost like 400 people total.
I mean, it was just
0 planes, hardly any equipment left behind.
Yeah. It's just and then when we go back. Again, I think the Middle East just needs to be laid to waste and just turned into a giant green glass.
I've been saying it, even though I don't agree with myself saying it, way before I even came on any of these shows.
So if you drop 5 100 kiloton nukes over like 5 of the big countries, they'll turn into one big green slate of glass. You plug some electrodes in and power the planet for the next million years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're the biggest sore spot on the planet. Almost all the trouble in this freaking planet comes from them, with the exception of Putin right now. But when you look at almost all the disasters on this planet, they're coming out of the freaking Middle East.
Yeah, and I've actually been saying it for years. Also, the fact that whatever it is they're fighting over down there.
What do you mean, Jesse?
For religious dominance or territory, whatever the hell it is that they're fighting over. It's when you were a little kid, you have a brother, you both have a coveted toy. It's mine. Eventually,
that's what it is.
Goes, no, that's mine. You go to your room, and this is going in the trash. That's what happened when you were a kid. You fought over a toy.
So what do you mean, Jesse? Oh, we're going to save the Jews and then nuke everybody? No, let me explain something to you. When I look at the Middle East, they're just part of the problem.
Yeah.
The Jews aren't innocent in this. I'm not saying that there's been a lot of shit done to these people, but they've done a lot of. Come on, you don't remember the 7-day war where they just went in and just basically laid 5 countries to waste in a matter of like 7 days?
Yeah,
I mean, they can be brutal when they want to be, and even their women are taught to go to war because basically, you want to be a citizen, you really pretty much have to go do your 2 years, and everybody there can be conscripted. Yes.
No, it's not. It can be. At the age of 18, you have until the age of 21 to do 2 years in the army, or you go to jail.
It's just well, they want to make, because everybody's been trying to kill them for tens of thousands of years. It's but are they right? No, because anytime you kill anybody over religion, you're wrong. I don't give a shit who you are, whether you're a Christian, a Muslim, a Jew, or anybody else for that matter. When you have to kill somebody over your religion, you're wrong. You can't win that.
Unprovable philosophical beliefs is ridiculous.
Yeah. You mean the 3 worst things that people have died for in this country? Religion, land, and women. Yes, and just that order too.
And then probably money would be next after that.
Yes. Oh, a couple of the biggest wars in history were fought over women. Oh, yeah. Sorry, my friend.
There's 1,000 years.
It's all Women's Day. It's Woman Power Day, so that's a good thing. It shows you how much power they had. Well, you're talking about
the Crusades.
You're talking about what's her name? Wait, somebody just hit me up about, what was it, the Greek, Roman? No, who was that? They launched 1,000 ships or 10,000 ships.
The Greeks against Troy.
Oh yeah, Helen of Troy. Yeah. Helen of Troy.
Helen of Troy.
Yes. A lot of people died over Helen. And you know what? And Helen, if you're listening wherever you may be in the universe, it wasn't your fault, baby. It's a bunch of dumbass men's fault. But still,
man, we can't control their hormones. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they want to possess is what the real problem is. They just want to possess, and sometimes you know, so many people always think the grass is greener on the other hill. Over the years, I've been alive a while. Most of the time, I find the grass on most of the hills is pretty much the same. Just every now and then you may find a little more gold on this hill than that hill, but really and truly, it is pretty much the same. And it's not just like it's in this country. I've got friends now all over the world, and we're pretty much all the same. We put our pants on every day. We get up, we go to work, we do our thing, we live our life. We put up with this depression or that thing, or the end of the world, this, that, or the other thing. But we're still pretty much the same. Our governments are more the problem than we, the people of any country, for that matter. Out of the 8 billion of us, there's about 1 million of us that are causing the problems. It's a shame. And I don't even know how you fix that. I mean, I was listening to some of the African countries today, some of the shit that's been going on down there. I'm thinking, thank God I live here. I mean, people are dying down there for some of the stupid reasons that you can be. And then you got South Americans and people sneaking in our borders. It shouldn't have to be like this. Is 2024. This isn't, 1850. This is 2024. One, we should have a lot more shit cured. Most of what we're talking about tonight shouldn't even exist. War should be a fucking thing in history. I mean, Putin's. I mean, I'd like to know what he really wants with the Ukraine. They got something over there he actually wants. I mean, because
he
doesn't think it's a country.
Yeah,
he still thinks it's part of Russia. He's trying to annex it back. That's part of it. But there's some unobtainium in Ukraine.
Yeah, in the Donbass, it's like I want to say it's coal. There's enormous, or there's huge resources.
I know there's they're a big wheat basket. I know they produce a lot.
Well, there's that too, but it's mainly there's something in the Donbass. I think it's either coal or like iron or something like that.
Oh, so here's just a weird side note since we're talking about the Ukraine. So Chernobyl's in the Ukraine. So recently they found out they were digging up earthworms around Chernobyl. They're radiation proof. So far they can't find any radiation that kills them. I was like, what? So they're thinking, wow, what is this? I was like, okay.
So if we take Elon Musk's ticket to Mars, we come back 1,000 years later, it's going to be Planet Earthworm Jim. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I still would imagine other things probably still kill them, like stepping on their ass.
Like the number one tool to aerate and clean the soil. So really, it's their biggest defense in neutralizing the soil. If they're immune to radiation, the earthworms are going to bring it back to life someday.
That might be why they're like that too.
Well, they're saying it's going to come back to life where we can start moving back in sooner than they thought. The radiation is abating faster than they suspected it would.
So the Donbass, it's coal, but it's also oil shale.
But also, I do believe the Ukraine also is the number one provider of fissionable material to Russia. So that's another thing they're probably wanting.
Yeah, it's just. What do you mean, Mark? You mean NATO attacked Russia? No, NATO. Look, if I can tell you this, if Trump's president and NATO attacks Russia, NATO's in trouble because we're going to be like, Trump's going to tell NATO to go take it flying. He's going to, you know what Trump's going to say? He's going to say, "Is everybody paid up?" No. Well, call me when everybody's paid up.
Pay your entry fee, and we'll come right on over.
And Putin kind of knows that. But still.
Even with us out of the picture, he still can't defeat NATO by himself.
It's no, he can't, but he could really screw things up for one. If China,
he could wipe out most of Europe. Yeah, he could do pretty good damage.
It's not that. I mean, France has nukes, England has nukes.
Spain has nukes. Italy has nukes. We have nukes in like 6 or 7 other countries that also have nukes. Such as Germany.
India?
I think there's only 8.
India and Pakistan have
nukes. Got like 400. I think there's only 8. It's either 7. No, it's only 8 countries that have nukes, or 7 countries that have nukes.
No, it's more than that. Mexico does have them. Pakistan, I know for one, does. India.
Yeah, Pakistan does. India has like 200 or 400. China's got about 400 to 800.
They don't have a great deal, but they have them.
It's
Most of the countries in Europe have them. If they don't have their own, they have ours for protection.
We have nukes parked in a lot of places, but they're not.
That's what I'm saying. They're like Spain, France, Italy all have their own nukes, and then we have nukes in Germany, maybe not Switzerland, but the other countries, Poland, the ones closer to Russia, Lithuania. No, not Lithuania.
Yeah, we've been talking about putting nukes in Poland. Putin just blew his cap the other day when they were talking about that. I mean,
that would be very stupid of us to do.
He said he would consider them a legit target, is what he said. He said, well,
that's right. That's fair. That's totally fair.
I mean, we just parked them on your freaking border. Yeah, of course it's fair. I mean, we're literally now 4 minutes from Moscow. I mean, it'd be like him putting them back in Cuba.
Yeah,
which we're never going to let that happen. So. What was that, Jimmy Lee? You know what? I'll find out. Give me a second. I had it somewhere. I was just getting ready to look for it right as you said that. We don't care how many they killed. Let's see. All right. Here are the countries that actually possess nukes. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So Russia has 1,600 deployed strategic warheads ready to kill you.
Wow.
Okay. They have non-deployed warheads, 2,800. Deployed
4,000.
So the deployed non-strategic warheads too. They have those as well, which not very many of those. I think it's a few. So the United States has 1,670 deployed strategic warheads. Non-strategic warheads, they have 1,536, and non-deployed warheads 1,938 for. So Russia's got 5,889, and we've got 5,244. China now has 410 non-deployed nuclear weapons. They're not deployed yet. France has 290 and 280 are deployed.
Wow. Someone's a little nervous.
What was that, Boo?
Where do they get them all? Do they make them and
they build them themselves.
France made their own, yeah.
You have to in order to build a nuclear power, you have to build it yourself. So United Kingdom has 225 total, with half of them deployed. Pakistan has 170 really not deployed. India has 164 really not deployed. Israel has 90 really not deployed. And they think North Korea has 30 sitting in a cave somewhere. But really and truly, so deployed is about almost 4,000 nuclear weapons deployed. So just 4,000 nuclear weapons is plenty enough to kill everybody. A couple of times
twice.
over, really. Yes. I mean, I don't know what kilotonnage we're talking here, but I don't think the U.S. even has anything under 25 kilotons anymore. So I'm thinking, unless there's some type of strategic tactical nuke, which is like 1 kiloton or something like that.
They might have the one big, massive, baby Bush planet killer hidden somewhere.
Well, I know for a fact that the U.S. had some Navy missiles that were 50 kilotons. They were very, very, very classified. God, I hope they're still not. Because I just got in trouble. It's but 50 kilotons will level a city. I mean, when you look at a strategic a nuke hit in New York, so it hits middle of New York. The first 10 miles, or actually the first 5 miles, is just flat and just dust, and then the next 10 miles is pretty much just eaten by flame and other stuff, and then the next 20 miles is pretty much just taken out by radiation. So that's its blast radius is 40 miles. Most nukes today's blast radius is under 20 miles. Some of them are even under 10, but we do have them that are over 40 miles. So, I mean, something like that, there's nothing left in New York. I mean, it's shit, not just New York. It probably went down and hit Maryland and DC and shit. And in the middle, that's the other problem. The Northeast, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nukes, and 80 million people are dead. 80 million. From them, and I don't even think you need 5. Probably 4 would do it.
The bulk of the U.S. population lives on the East Coast.
The North, and the majority of the United States lives east of the Mississippi River, and a big chunk of it lives, I think 80 million of it lives up in the Northeast, meaning New York, Pittsburgh,
New York State, Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, Boston, places like that, Maryland,
Maryland's
DC,
fairly concentrated. There's a lot of people in
Norfolk,
Maryland.
places like that. So there's just a shitload of people there, and if you want to piss us off, but think about that. You just reduced our standing army quite a bit when you took that section out. But you know what's good? I shouldn't say there's anything good, but there is some shining light. We don't have that many strategic Air Force or Navy facilities in that part of the country.
Yeah, all the top secret stuff is in the middle of the country. Come get it.
Yeah. Well, it's not just that though, but like most of our Navy is deployed. Well, you do have a big chunk deployed out of Norfolk, but most of it's deployed out of the Gulf because it's considered a protected harbor. See, people don't realize that we got all kind of shit we keep out in the Gulf I didn't know about until I got in the service. I was like, what the hell? Plus, I didn't know the Gulf was 4,000 feet deep either. So I was kind of like, oh, we're
pretty deep.
But yet, a Navy and Russian sub somehow managed to run into each other in a big, huge Gulf of Mexico, 4,000 deep. How do you run into each? I mean, what were they doing? He did a crazy Ivan, and the Navy ship couldn't get out of the way in time. That's what happened. The Russian subs is famous for them crazy Ivans. What do you mean, Christian? A crazy Ivan is when a submariner decides to turn right or left just really fast, like almost
180 degrees immediate.
Yeah.
And the only reason is because they have what they call the baffles behind the fantail of the submarine where the towed array is. They can't hear between the two propeller screws. There's a huge cone of silence behind them. They have no idea what's in it. So if you're following directly behind that ship, they cannot hear you. So they flip around 180 to see what's in back by looking backwards. And if you're close enough, they'll hit you.
Yeah. Well, it's also, if you're off doing a wartime, it's a good thing to do because if they just turn around and you're there, they can launch torpedoes and kill you. No, the Russians had a good Navy at one time. It wasn't most technologically advanced Navy, but they had good sailors.
They were pretty strong in the 80s.
Yeah, and they had good pilots at one time. They were very competitive.
Good air pilots too. Yeah.
Their problem is their people have gotten complacent and don't want to fight. They don't want to go to war. See, America's got a similar problem, but we're a kind of gung-ho nation, so we'll get our asses up and do it anyway.
Yeah, they're getting drunk on glasnost still. You know, they've got what? Economy before.
So last I checked, they had like 160 million Russians living there, and I think half of them were above going to war age. And then and out of that other half that's left, probably half of them are below going to war. They're not really in a good position to get in a big, long haul fight. They're hoping that China will back them because China's got 1.4 billion people, even though India's passed them now. Still, China's got a lot of people that can die, and Russia's got a lot of equipment they can equip them with. But now somehow or another, Xi Jinping and Putin have got on each other's nerves.
Oh God!
Yeah, I read another article today. Well, Ping don't want to see. Xi Jinping was fine with him going into Ukraine because that gives him maybe a reason to go into Taiwan. Mm-hmm. But when you start using the word nuke, he gets nervous. He don't want to get nuked. And I mean, really, Russia and China share a border. So if we start nuking China, nuking Russia, it's a good chance that China's going to get to experience it with the rest of us. Or if Russia nukes us, we share trade winds with China. So, so this is really what this comes down to. If Russia nukes anything in the United States from about Kentucky down, there will be as much damage here as there will be in China. Well, even from New York down, because I know y'all forget the red dust incident when all of China's red dust was all over our country for 6 weeks. It's so we share serious trade winds with them. So anything that nukes us goes to them. So when you kill us, you're killing the Chinese, and Chinese don't want to die. And I hate to say it, if it comes down to them surviving, I mean, they don't have enough resources as it is. You start nuking and killing their plants off.
Doesn't China have like the highest rate of suicide?
They used to. I don't know if they still do, but they used to.
Well, with that many people, I would think now that India has overtaken them, it probably has shifted to India. But with that many people, the percentage is going to go up anyway. It's going to be slightly askew because we talked about it on your show the other night. It's a density problem, not a population problem. There's just too many people compacted into small areas.
China's huge.
Yeah, but they are compacted into very small, concentrated areas. And
China's about the size of the continental U.S., maybe a little bit smaller.
Yeah, but they don't all live out in the wilderness.
It's real close. But their problem is they don't have the resources we have, and we've got flat open plains for growing shit, and they got rocky mountains that really aren't really useful for much. So we have way more fresh water than they do. We have way more open places to grow food than they do. That's why they import so much raw grain from the United States. One of our biggest crops for them for at least the last 25 or 50 years has been wheat. We feed the Chinese.
We provide 85% of the planet's wheat.
So right now, with us in the Ukraine, if something was to happen to those two countries, you would see a good chunk of the world would be starving. Wouldn't even take long, except for I eat beef, so screw it. I'll eat some steak. I'm not going to starve. Yeah, y'all gonna starve. No, the cows don't have to eat wheat. The cows can eat other stuff. Grass works just as good. And I live in the South. There's lots of grass, so yes, we're not going to starve. Yeah, it's like that song. I'll just eat grass.
Corn too.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just so Xi Jinping's just aggravated because if Putin goes and nukes us, he knows we're going to nuke him back. So not only he's going to have to worry about radiation from us going across the ocean, he's going to have to worry about radiation from in Russia coming down with the, when the fronts come through to his country. So it's double exposure for China, and he's not even in this war. So he's got a hard decision he's got to make, and once his decision made, it's made. If we go to war, once it's made. We're going to come full out on your ass. That's one thing that both countries do know. Once you push us to a certain point, there's not going to be any more. It's just going to be okay. We're going to kill whoever we can kill. We're going to lose and die. We're going to take y'all asses with us.
Yeah, the manufacturing power we have alone, just within the country. We could easily out-manufacture them as far as whatever weapons and ammo we need.
Well, here's another good one for y'all. Y'all going to love this one. Sean would hate this because he used to be a tankster. So Russia has been buying a ton of ammo from North Korea. Tank rounds, just regular bullets, all sorts of shit. Just tons of it. Guess what? None of it works. None of it. So far, they have not been able to get one shell or one bullet to go off. It's like the primer is whatever they use to do for a primer is gone. What do you mean, G? Some tank bullets are just that. They're just big ass bullets. They have a little primer in the back and everything.
Sabot. Sabot rounds. Yeah, they're like this. They're like you can't see it from the screen, but I don't know. They're about
3 feet long.
Think about it. So yeah, 2.5 feet long, something like that. Sabot rounds. Then the heat rounds too, same thing. But the Sabot is high kinetic, and then heat round is high explosive anti-tank.
What do you mean? Who am I voting? I ain't voting for nobody, man. I'm moving to Mars. I'm voting for Elon. Elon for Martian president. That's who I'm voting for. No, he's not putting no chip in my brain. Screw that.
Yeah, that's creepy stuff.
That's some nth level stuff.
That's called giving your government a way to hijack you.
Well, I mean, so I was watching this guy the other day use it. It is cool. I mean, he's working his computer with thought. He's not doing anything else. He said it takes some effort. It's getting easier as he goes along. But the guy's arms, he got some disease where his arms don't work anymore. And so he's been using it, and it's working great for him. And that's all fine and dandy. And they're saying that these chips can even start to stimulate the receptors that are gone dead and actually bring muscle life back to your arms and legs and stuff. So we'll see how that works out. And then someone like Stephen Hawkins, I'm sure, would have loved it because he would have got a lot more work done with something like that. But still, people, it's in your head.
Well, they also have devices for amputees now. It's literally the closest thing to bionics is they insert like some sort of electrode ends on the amputized limb, and those probes go near those nerve endings that would have fired off the remaining part, and then they can attach this fake limb, and through thought they can make the hand open and close, and grab things and twist. It's very, very X level stuff. It's very cool to look at. That I would do. Brain implant, no thanks.
It's there's some of that stuff I'm just kind of like, okay, man, you're not. I mean, I understand that if they got the ones now that you could put in there, they could probably record everything in your head and create
take control of you.
Yeah, create a host body and just upload that into a new body. That would be cool. But is that
is it
actually
really you?
That's the question. Is it really you?
Question.
So it's always, to me, it's always going to be, how is it done? So are you just recording my memories? Because it's all you're recording is my memories. That's not me. That's just my memories.
Yeah.
Now you might put them into another person and it might work the exact same way, but is that what actually is the essence of Joe? So you need to figure out how you can take it all and make sure you're getting it all, because I don't want to wake up somewhere and not have any soul, just memories. That'll suck. Well, people, because I would just be mean. Yes. I need the essence of Joe. Judge keeps me from pulling up all you bastards out there. Yes. It's what makes me nice.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Star Trek movie, Captain Kirk. The guy offers Captain Kirk he'll take his bad feelings, memories away, and make him feel better. He's like, no, I need my pain. They make me who I am.
No, in a way, it's true. You know, it's especially if you're somewhere now in life, it is kind of true. What is that, Reese? No, why would I want to even play that? No, look, y'all can send music. We don't mind. We play different stuff on the network, and you can send music for the different breaks. But no, I'm not playing that. I'm sorry. No.
What was the request?
I can't say. I can't put that on my lips, people. I mean, that's just horrible. No, I got nothing against Michael Jackson. No, I don't. I don't have anything about Michael Jackson. I don't have nothing against him. I just don't think it works for this show. That's all.
You could play "Smooth Criminal" by Alien Ant Farm. That might be a compromise.
I saw them live when I was like 13 or 14. Vacaville, Three Oaks Community Center.
You know, it's always interesting when you get to see a famous group, before they're really this. Because the very first time I ever seen ZZ Top play, I was going hunting early in the morning with some friends, and they were playing in this little trailer in this hick ass bar in Alabama. I mean, this was just here's a trailer on the side of the road. And that's where they were playing. And I'd heard them, I said, wow, y'all are really good. I mean, we had a good time. We had a good time, got drunk with them, didn't go hunting, hung out with them for about a day. And then one day I'm sitting down, I don't know, it was like 10, 12 years later, my friend goes, was that them people we got drunk with? I'm like, who? And I was like, son of a bitch. It sure was. It's one of them things, but it was strange because, when I say it was a hick bar, it was just a hick bar. This was just somewhere no city folks should ever go. Thank God I was with a bunch of my country friends. It wasn't as bad for me, but Rusi, no, I like all music. I can listen to some I can listen to some hip hop. I can listen to some grunge. Yeah, I like everything. But for me, music.
You like country music?
I do like some country music.
Like modern country music?
I like some modern country music too. I'm not as much old as I like. I do like one of my favorite songs, which we might have to play tonight, is the I-95 song. Yes. I love that fucking song. Ooh, beep, beep. It's the I-95 song. Would you like me to do the lyrics for you? It starts out, were you born an asshole? Have you always been an asshole? Is your wife an asshole? Is your mom an asshole? I love that song, yes. Actually, I hate to tell you, but on real TV and radio, you can use the word asshole. Yes. Sorry, people. There's only certain words you can't use. No, I can't tell you what they are. It's the F and C word. How's that? Yes. And there's certain phrases you can't use either. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's just the way it works. I don't own or work for the FCC. Sorry. That's the communications company. They want to do what they want to do, what the government says for them to do. No, we're getting ready to take a break in a second, but real quick, hold on. Let me pull it up and I'll give you a quick. There's actually quite a few. There's about 14 things we'll go through, and we're going to get into some of the polls, but we still got a little while. This one right here, before we go, astronomers discover a rare 6-planet solar system in perfect harmony. These things are all just cruising. It's just really cool. They're just all linked up together and just cruising along. They're not all jumbled and mixed up like ours, or they're just all kind of it's very weird. It's almost like something made them and put them there. Then there's another one where in the center of the galaxy, they have started finding these, they think they're structures. Like, a couple of months back, they were talking about a Dyson sphere that they think found. And now they're thinking one of the problems for all the Big Bang theories is all these clusters of galaxies that cluster together. Not only are they clustered together, and some make these big circles, they're not moving away like the rest of us. They're not speeding out like they were thrown out from the Big Bang.
And some are eating each other up. Some have eaten others up already. We're on the verge. I don't know how long away, but we're on the very edge of like colliding with the next galaxy towards us, which is, I think, Andromeda.
This is Andromeda, but we're currently eating 4 galaxies. The one that's nearest to us is the Sagittarius galaxy, and it's full of red dwarfs. And we found that out because we're surrounded by red dwarfs now. So some scientists actually think Earth may have came from the Sagittarius galaxy because it's just
you all familiar with the y'all familiar with the Boötes void? It's just this empty spot. It's like 330 million light years across. Just this big void in space. It's called the Boötes void.
Is that the one the guy said he pointed it at because there was nothing there? Some guy the other day was talking about
there's literally nothing there.
Some guy was talking about pointing $1 million telescope at an empty spot in space, and maybe that's what he was talking about. I never did find out what the results were.
They did that with the Hubble, and once they got it fixed, they decided, we're not getting the results we thought we should. So they decided to pick a blank area of space, and they zoomed in on it. And I guess it was like a long-term exposure. They had let it, focus on the area for a while. And then we got those pictures of like all these galaxies, like hundreds of thousands of galaxies all clustered together. Do you all remember that picture?
Yeah, no, I've seen a couple of those actually.
Yeah.
Raymond, what are you sending me, man? I don't know. Let me see. Send it over.
From the James Webb Telescope, you said?
No, that first one was from
that's from Hubble. First one's from the Hubble. There's still a lot of stuff comes off the Hubble. Oh yeah, it's still out there working its little happy tushies off.
Do you see a side-by-side comparison of, I don't know what planet, I think it was Jupiter or something like that, between the Hubble and the James Webb? Just like how much more clear the James Webb Telescope developed?
It's definitely clearer. Frank, you want me to play Nora Jones? Oh, you mean Turn Me On? I don't know. That's pretty heavy jazz for this particular show. No, I like the Dead South. All right, I'll play the Dead South. Send it over. Yeah, it's a little weird, people. In hell, I'll be in good company. Yeah, I'll play it. Send it over. Hold on. I don't know how many of y'all have ever heard this. I guess you could consider this country in a way. I'm not sure what the hell you would consider this. No, the first time I heard this song, I was kind of like, what the hell is this? Yeah, I'm still not 100% convinced on it, but we'll put it on since I had now y'all in the chat room, 3 of y'all said it. So now let's hit present.
What is it?
It's the Dead South. In hell, I'll be in good company. That's the name of the song. It's all I can say is it's weird. We'll just leave it at that. And here it goes. No, take a break real quick. We got. Okay, there we go. That was very strange. All right. No more allowing anybody in the chat room to select music. No, I don't have anything.
I almost drank bleach after that one.
I don't. No, I mean, yeah, it's fine for like driving down the road or something. No, well, I don't know. It depends what kind of mood I'm in. No, it's something about that song. It just sounds like he wants to go home and chop his wife's head off and feed it to the puppy or something. I'm not sure what the hell's going on there. Well, you're talking about that scat song, that one that, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, I hate that song. I hate it so much, but it's funny. It's like scatterad something or another. I don't know. It's a retardo song. I didn't say that. Jay said the retardo word. I did not say that. No, really, people.
Although Biden did say illegal, and that drove Nancy Pelosi nuts in the State of the Union. It's supposed to be undocumented.
We're gonna,
I don't know what happened. I was watching along on the YouTube, and now it's saying stream unavailable, stream suspended for policy violations.
It's because Joe's playing music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Let me hold on. Let me go see something.
It'll come back on. It'll come back on as some, after. It'll be like a little lag.
Yeah, they get funky. They want to block it out. Yeah, because they'll Metallica though. A lot of times they want to block the archive over Metallica. I don't know what the hell that is.
Metallica is like super litigious when it comes to use of its music. Yeah.
I'm like, guys.
Yeah, and Facebook has some kind of masking technology too. I posted a video on Facebook with the radio, just the local radio on in the background, and then when I went onto Facebook after I uploaded it to watch it, it gave me a little message thing that the audio's been blurred out for copyright reasons, and it was the weirdest thing. I'm like, how the hell do they do that? You can hear everything else but the radio.
Oh yeah. YouTube can do that too. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot. What's that, Keith? No, there's a lot of stuff they can do. No, we're still up. I mean, I can see the system from here, but they will block it for the song because it's not. And later on, when the archive posts, we'll actually have to go in and remove the songs from YouTube. Nobody else cares. Even Roku don't care. YouTube though, for what the bad part is, and I don't know why YouTube and I can't come to understanding this. We pay ASCAP. So we pay for the right to use the songs, and still they're giving a shit about it. So I don't even know what to do with
YouTube. Man, there's something about YouTube. It used to be a great website. It was a cool place to, I don't know, just hang out really until like about 2008, and something changed.
People started making too much money
anymore.
Yeah, they're charging $70 a month, and you can set your own like cable thing when you pick a certain amount of channels. And you get your local channels as well, but it's $70 a month. I mean, that's cheaper than most cables.
I don't like commercials that much.
Yeah, you're still paying for commercials. Yeah, that's the other thing.
Well, see, I don't even understand anymore because I have Roku TV at home, which we're on Roku, but I also have Vizzo TV at home, and I have Apple TV at home, which are all free. The Apple TV comes with my my phone. The Vizzo comes with my Vizzo TV, and of course, we got Roku on 3 different TVs on 3 different boxes, and they're all free. So the only thing you really pay for on those is if you got like Netflix, which I get free with my T-Mobile.
You can upgrade Roku accounts from basic to more, know.
Well, but seriously, I get Netflix for free too. So the things I pay for is I get like YouTube. It's YouTube, Disney, and ESPN come together in a package for like $8. Prime gets me for, I don't know, $140 a year or something. Who else? I do get Max, but I got some kind of deal with Showtime and Stars with Prime, so it's like $4 with my Prime. So I don't even know that was a really great deal, and I got that because I was buying a Roku and it came with the Roku, and then they gave me free music for 2 years for a different Roku I bought. I was like, well, shit. So anyway it goes, I used to pay on a shitty cable system. I paid $250 a month. If I included my internet with that, it's more like $450, but that's station internet, so it was different. And the internet's way more expensive now. But that was $250. Now, if I include everything I got, I could even throw in what I pay for basic station internet, not for the bandwidth for some of the stuff, but just the station, and I would still be paying less than I was for my regular cable bill. I mean, I don't probably pay more than $50 or $60 for all the add-on stuff, which is a lot more movies than I'll ever watch. Not including, I have 2,000 channels in Roku. I could spend days just scrolling through it. I could probably spend days scrolling through it and then scrolling through everything on it. And then somehow Tubi and these other things ended up on my screens for free. They're all over the place now.
But part of the problem with all these streaming services is, and I've been screaming for it for years because cable was just so out of whack with the expenses on them. I've been asking for a la carte cable systems. And then none of them could do it. You go to the cable system, I want these 15 channels, and that's it in my 3 locals. That's all I want to pay for. And they give you a charge of what you're going to be, paying for, those 15 channels in the locals. We now have that with these Roku sticks, and you can get into these things like Hulu and others and Netflix for free. You don't pay anything for anything, but you can't. There's certain content you can't get to. So, but you watch the local live TV shows through Roku and whatnot, so you get commercials on the TV shows. You're not paying anything. That's fine. Now you go up $4.99 a month. You're paying them for I would expect commercial-free television. Now, when you go to watch those live shows, there should not be a commercial, but there is. So you're still paying them, and you're still being a money hoard for them to throw commercials at. So there's still the system isn't quite where it should be, to the point you can get all of the Roku type, streaming channels, Max, Cinemax, Showtime, what have you, and by the end of it all, you're spending $500 a month.
Yeah, well, see, Netflix, I had forgot I was paying like $24 a month for Netflix, and then I realized I had free Netflix for my phone service. I was like, well, shit on this, Joe, dumbass. So I turned my free one on. So that saved me $24 a month. That was the most expensive. Everything I paid for Netflix was the most expensive. And in the beginning, it was the cheapest at $8.99. Now Prime goes up 30 or 40 cents every year. I think when I started with Prime, they were $9.99. I think they're up to, if you pay monthly, I think they're like $14.
But if you have a yearly subscription, I think you don't pay any extra for the Prime Video. It's all free.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I get all the Prime stuff. I'm actually a whatever Prime member now, but it's there's just a lot of stuff in there. And Amazon, I do like the free shipping. I do like the stuff that's in 1 or 2 days, plus all the TV that comes with it. And what do you mean, Bruce? No, Prime sticks are the same things as Roku sticks are.
Yeah, same idea. It's a streaming stick.
Yeah, it's just Roku came first, and then Prime decided later on we were going to switch because we thought originally the streaming company we were with that put us on Roku had offered us. They offered us the stick, Apple TV, and Samsung television, and eventually we may get on those as well. But when we looked at the Prime and the Roku, they got about the same amount of members, about 180 million and to 200 million subscribers. And they basically have the same stuff, except for Roku offers you some stuff that Prime can't because it's exclusive. Like there's lots of games you can get on Roku you can't get on those. And I do like the fact that I can pay Battleship on TV, which is kind of cool. I like to whip people's ass in Battleship every once in a while. But I play chess on TV too. I play backgammon. Anytime I get like 2 or 4 o'clock in the morning when I'm sitting there watching something on TV, I might pull it up and play a game of chess. I used to be good. I was ranked 1,000th in the country for a while. Yes. A good friend of mine who was ranked 100th in the country taught me how to play at night working at a convenience store. Yes. We used to make paper boards and play like that. That's how I learned to play by numbers. Yes. You're better if you learn to play by numbers, actually. It helps your game. Mm-hmm. But anyway, enough about backgammon. Oh, man, I used to win money playing backgammon. I used to go to championship.
Backgammon's fun.
Darts. I made. So in my youth, when I was young, like this person over here on the left side of the screen over here, I made money playing darts. I made money playing backgammon, and I made money dancing, and not lucid dancing before anybody asked. Contest dancing. I was very competitive. What can I say? Nowadays, I'm like, leave me alone, people. Don't bother me. Stay the hell away from me. Get back. Put the cross on their asses. What's that, Gene? You mean if I had to make a prediction right now?
There's something wrong with my connection, I think.
What's happening? You breaking up or something? Can you hear us or?
Yeah, it's just very choppy. I don't know what's happening.
That's weird.
Maybe Wi-Fi is going out or something.
You're coming across here pretty clean though.
Yeah, you sound good over here.
That's good. It's every time Joe talks.
Oh, it might be something on my end. It might not be.
Yeah, sometimes he gets glitchy.
It's the end. It's the end of time coming. That's all. It starts here first. What can I tell you? Bob's back there.
I'm excited.
And Bob's back there, just waiting to beam out the little curly lights and take us all out. No, actually, guys, I was going to say
I don't
Wolf Moon
want to step in shit anymore.
Well, I can't blame you for that. No, actually, Jack, Death of the Taxman guy is going to be on next week. Dave Hankins, he's going to be on the Saturday show. Well, Wolf Moon's supposed to be, but when I was talking to Wolf today, I forgot that Carmen had already booked Dave, so I got to get that straight. And then the gentleman with this book on the other side of me will be on in a couple of weeks too. Well, he'll be on the Wednesday show though. Yes, we'll be talking about why aliens don't come down here and blow up some freaking politicians. No, I just
it's
wonder
because they are the
I'm still
politicians.
Yeah.
It's say What do you mean end of the world as we know it? It's always the end of the world as we know. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure it's been the end of the world as we know it since the freaking monkeys were swinging in cheese, throwing shit at each other. I'm pretty sure that's how it's always been. Yes. Well, what is the end of the world? I guess it's the real question, isn't it? And what is it? Is it the end of the world for you individually? Is it the end of the world for everybody? Is it the end of the world just because we like to say it's the end of the world?
Yeah.
Well, a good religious friend of mine says God doesn't like to let us die young. He likes to torture us. And sometimes I wonder if it's not a true statement. I'm just no. This guy is he's seriously religious. He's a Baptist preacher. Oh yeah, he's serious. He means it too. He's like, oh no, Joe, that's why. He said you was probably bad when you was a young man. That sounds like angelic, like buddy. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't get bad till I got older. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. No, really, I didn't get bad till I got older. When I got older, I got bad. Yes. Shit happens sometimes. No, we'll go over the polls in just a minute. Before we do that, though, hold on a second. Let me pull this up. What did I do with it? I had it up here a minute ago. No, that's y'all. Where's it at? So let's see. What is this? No, that's ain't what I want to talk about. What is this? Yeah. Oh, this is the one about they've actually found what they think 3 or 4 different Earths. It's getting a little weird. They're finding so much shit in space, and I think they need to start slowing down a little bit and defining them a little bit better, or trying to define them. Spend some time going through the atmospheres a little bit better. No, Chris, that's the F-22. So, U.S. Embassy warns on imminent attack. A Moscow attack. That's what it says. U.S. Embassy warns of an imminent Moscow attack.
What do they mean? An attack from Moscow or an attack on Moscow?
It says U.S. Embassy Russia warns an immediate attack in Moscow on Thursday after Russian intelligence agency claimed to have thwarted an attempt at. Oh, so they're talking about it. Yeah, in Russia.
Wow.
By who?
It's not saying
by Ukrainians, probably.
Yeah, it probably is. But let me see. Let me scan through and see if there's any notes on by who it is. Federal security agencies. That's like their FBI. Yeah. No, they're not saying who it is. That probably proves that it's the Ukraine. You would think if it was anybody else, they would instantly be talking about, oh, is this terrorist group or that? Well, there's been a lot of
something back. Yeah.
Well, there's been a lot of weird terrorist shit happening in Russia. And it's not like Middle Eastern terrorists. It's like Russian terrorists. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, this is the one from earlier. Hundreds of mysterious structures found in the heart of the Milky Way. Remember the word structures. They didn't say planets or anything else. They said structures, meaning something that was built, not something that was just occurring naturally. We keep finding shit in the galaxy. It's, maybe.
What's the source of that? Like, who's saying that?
A mountain wouldn't be a structure, right?
No.
Not that you would see in space. No. Who is the source of this? Let's find it right quick. This is stories by Harry Barris, but get the damn thumbs thing out of my face so I can see who actually wrote the story. Hold on, maybe if I do it this way, I can. Let's see. That's who wrote the story. I want to know who put it out, though. This is NASA.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, but, so can we believe it? Like, as soon as you said that, I'm like, well, 50-50, it's true.
So basically, these people have picked these articles up that NASA put out. Now, NASA says it does look like there's something there. NASA's not actually using the word structure. The person who wrote the article is actually using the word structure. But NASA does say that there is something there that it's blotting out everything, and it doesn't look like it's naturally occurring, but it also doesn't mean that it's aliens. I'm not sure how NASA comes to those conclusions. What is it with NASA and aliens? I mean, NASA is built to find aliens. Every time somebody at NASA says they find an alien, they deny it.
No, they're built not to find aliens.
But I mean, isn't
the word NASA isn't the word a Hebrew word for to deceive?
Well, I don't know. I'd have to look it up to see, to be honest with you.
But it's pronounced like
it might be. I just
maybe so.
NASA. It's not structures. It's gas. It's like nebula type
The
stuff.
galaxy's got gas. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna let that slide.
Yeah.
Well, I've now found it in three different articles now. See, that's another thing I hate about this. So I type it in. I'll read the original article. Now, if I type in just the title of that article, a lot of times I'll get 3 or 4 different articles. This one over here is talking completely about it's something orbiting that's blocking it out. I mean, it's we need as a world, we need to start, getting more together and stop having to have 500 answers for just one thing. I mean, sometimes the right answer is the right answer. I think we're forgetting that as a society. It's really kind of irritating me these days too.
Can you look up the validity on whether or not the word NASA is translated into to deceive in Hebrew?
Who's got a search engine open? Search. Should say click and say. This is what we talked about. That's okay. Putin's allies suggest nuclear strikes on 3 NATO members. Vladimir Laskovsky promises and figures the Kremlin should definitely attack at least these 3 cities.
Which 3 cities?
Paris.
Oh my
Marseille. He lists these cities in Marseille, Hamburg, Munich. I have no idea what else is Parton Kirichen. I'm sure I'm butchering whatever that is.
Spell it? How do you spell it?
It's Partenkirchen.
Partenkirchen. Garmisch-Partenkirchen.
That's
Lower
it.
Bavaria.
That's it. That's the one.
Mark Parmesan.
And
Yes,
any city in the United States. I'm thinking, really?
Any city.
Give me a break.
I can give them a city to explode and tell them to blow up the Rock Island Arsenal.
I mean, sometimes
right in Illinois, blow up Illinois, blow up all of Illinois.
And then
why Illinois?
It's halfway there anyway.
I'm
just.
I mean, any American city is halfway there anyway at this point.
Personal vendetta.
The answer for NASA, the meaning in Israeli, is to lead astray. That is,
that's pretty good.
So
or morally to seduce, to beguile, or deceive.
Yeah, that's kind of what they do.
Yeah,
it sounds the same.
Ain't that a thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
doesn't surprise me, not even a little bit. Russian missile strikes too close to Greek Prime Minister. NATO's alarmed. What the ever? Sometimes you just look at this stuff and you go, really, man? Are you serious? No, you cannot be serious. Leopards kills native. I'm sorry to hear that. Ukrainians volunteer craft. Wait, what is it? Oh, this is the decoys we were talking about earlier. The decoys we were talking about earlier. Sorry. Oh, I love this one. Chinese spy cranes in U.S. ports are caught with covert modems. So do they mean like crane, like as in a bird, or do they mean like his crane and is, a crane? I just think, really, I mean, so I'm confused.
Yeah, what would modems do?
Well, modem allows them to transmit. That's what they found on that balloon.
Yeah, our type of modem transmitters.
So if you've got like one of those cranes that are moving cargo, and you're looking at stuff, and you have a spy ship off the coast or something, or a ship, whatever, you can, or somebody even on land somewhere, you can send your modem to them. It's just like you use your modem at your house. Oh yeah, they're talking about a crane. Oh, Joe Biden, shut up. I mean, really, dude. I mean, you're scaring me. There are no spies in the United States. What? See,
what?
Whoa!
Did he literally say that? So did he say that out loud?
Yes, it's what he said.
I might know a few in person. Who knows? I might know a couple.
He said he was asked that on something yesterday if he thought there were spies in the U.S. and he said, "No, there's no spies in the U.S. We're
Joe Biden said that.
He said we were too smart for that." I'm thinking, dude, you do know the border's been open for like a decade now, man.
Oh God.
Although recent survey, this is the Putin, so I like this one. So this is one of the reasons Putin said the stat of his election. So, 82% of Russia says they're going to vote for Vladimir upcoming election, and that's who they're going to vote for. Yes, because they don't want to die. But
Yeah.
He killed Navalny, right? Like Navalny, whatever his name is, recently. So
yeah,
or he died of a heart attack or something.
Yeah, he's old KGB, so you're not getting around him. And then so
wasn't he a Nazi supporter or something?
No, he's the reason he's supposed to be in the Ukraine is to kill the Nazis.
He's going after the Nazis, yes. Or
no,
something
Navalny. Wasn't Navalny known
yeah,
for like sympathize?
I think so. He was like hardcore. He used to be hardcore, and then he became anti-Putin, so he had to say stuff that made him popular in the West.
Oh Lordy, it's So anyway, last year, 82% of the country who said he was going to vote for him watched him on TV. This year, less than 30% tuned in to watch Vladimir give his speech.
Oh boy!
They said it's like throwing mud in his face. I'm like, whatever, Yeah, maybe if you're Russian, it is. We don't really give a crap. Is there anything we wanted to hear? But oh wait, what is this one? Oh man, I can't put it on the screen. Damn it! CruiseUp Air Car. So this is a new futuristic. So I've been bitching on one of my Jetson car, right? So it looks like maybe they might have figured this out. So they have a new propulsion system. It has no moving parts, by the way, and it seems to run endlessly. It's very interesting. Why can't I get this going? The thing.
Are you not in Chrome?
No, it's for some reason it's just not accepting it. So there's two different ones. There's one that's talking about this no moving parts, and then there's another one that's using where'd you go? Wait, how much this thing's going to cost? $54 million. Well, we ain't even going to worry about that.
Yeah, that's Elon Musk's pocket change.
Yeah. Oh, he lost $1 billion with Tesla this year, huh?
Yeah, didn't he lose some court, like some nonsense court ruling?
Yeah, some way he did. I remember hearing about it. I don't remember what it was, but I do remember hearing about it. SpaceX Starship second flight footage released under Freedom of Information Act. So I saw his second flight. Why am I going to be seeing it under Freedom of Information Act? Okay, I'm confused by that all the way around. Trumpster, U.S. Intrepid C-11 aircraft carrier, Trump's favorite ship. Whatever, I've never heard him say that. People just make shit up.
I know.
Make it.
Okay, Moon has hidden resources that could bring in, sustain billions, sustain humans for billions of generations. That's how much stuff's on the surface of the moon. We've been talking about the helium-3 on the moon for decades. There's way more than enough up there than we need.
Well, it looks like this week, didn't the Chinese and the Russians announce a joint project to put a nuclear reactor on the moon by like 2030, something like that?
I didn't see it, but God help us if they do.
Yeah,
that's not great. Yeah, we better get chop on that one.
Well,
the first person who controls the moon controls it.
Well, Elon and NASA's neighborhoods, they're supposed to start putting it up pretty soon. So they're supposed to be putting a whole neighborhood up there. I don't know why they keep calling it a neighborhood. It aggravates me when I hear them say that. I guess a colony is a bad word, but
you better get a colony up there fast.
Or some sort of defensive base.
Yeah, you need boots on the ground. You can't just put a colony up there and like the Russians come in. It's like
it'd be like the guys in Aliens.
Volunteer. Let me get out of
planet.
I need to go like right now. Take me.
I would go.
I would go in a heartbeat.
Let's see.
I would grow aeroponic plants. Like I already know how aeroponics work. So that would be my ticket. That would be my job, or just cleaning toilets, or air cleaning them somehow.
Yeah, I would take any job up there. I'm not.
Yeah,
proud.
I would do anything. I would do anything.
Now, who sent me this?
Give me a broom and I'll sweep the surface of the moon.
Oh,
there's a lot to sweep. It's like what 6 inches deep?
All that you start sweeping up helium-3, you'll be a billionaires in no time at all.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff is worth some serious money up there. What was this one? So this guy, what's his name? Jack Smith, isn't that the guy that's going after Trump?
The lawyers sued him for everything.
So it looks like something backfired on his face today, so I'm not sure what that is. Joe Biden says stronger positions against China. Or did they forget to pay you? Biden? Is that what happened?
They didn't pay him his profits from his businesses over there yet.
Yes, he's upset.
He's been underperforming on his agreement.
He needs to look. China is not necessarily our enemy, but they're not our damn friend. No, Bruce, they're not our friend. They don't even want to be our friend. They want to replace us, is what they want to do. They want to replace us in every way.
Dominant country.
They just want to replace America.
Have you seen side-by-side comparisons of their elementary school children compared to like our public school elementary school children?
No.
I mean, there's such a striking difference in how well managed and behaved they are compared
to.
That's because they can smack them.
Well, yeah, but I mean, for the most part, the Asian children are traditionally have always been way more well behaved than American children at the same ages.
I don't know. There's a lot, I think, to be desired in the school systems, at least the public ones that I'm familiar with.
It used to not be like that. School used to be different in this country. School used to be very well organized. You said the Pledge of Allegiance every morning. You did your thing. Yep. You didn't play around. You didn't talk in your class. Teacher had the right to paddle your ass.
I went to school with nuns and priests who were allowed to summarily discipline you if you were out of line.
And then all the Karens of the United States got together and things up.
Yep.
I mean,
is it true? I just heard today, I live in California right now, and I just heard through the grapevine that they passed a law saying that a child in a diaper, like even a toddler, has to request for their diaper to be changed before their parent can change it.
In California, maybe. I wouldn't even.
Yeah, good luck trying to enforce that.
Yeah, I wouldn't even put it past Governor Newsom. That freako.
I don't know how true it is.
Well, but responsible parent would let their toddler run around with a dirty diaper for all day or multiple days. I mean, that's just...
I mean, the fact that that's, even if it's not true, the fact that I'm even considering, it could be probably. I mean, it just is a indictment on how messed up California is.
It's a messed up state.
I mean, I live in California, so I know. Like, it's just, if you're a criminal, right? Hey, come on in. But if you shoot the criminal, we got to prosecute you. You killed this scholar, this scholar that's going to be our next Einstein. Like, how could you do that?
Solitary confinement forever.
Yeah, it's like Han Solo. He shot first. No, he didn't.
So NATO is planning on putting Patriot missile defense systems throughout the Baltic states. See, Putin must be just having crap in himself, man. That means he can't even shoot his nuclear weapons. We'll shoot them down. It's I mean, if I was this man, so look, I understood his problems with the Ukraine in the beginning because, we were going to make him a NATO state, which means pretty much we shared, whatever border he's not sharing with China, he's sharing with the rest of the NATO countries now. That's, you don't want to be there if you're not the guy who wants to play nice with everybody. Now, if he'd go back to the Gorbachev days where he wanted to play nice, it wouldn't matter that we shared borders and we wouldn't put a bunch of shit. But every time he does something stupid now, we add to it. So, he can't get mad about the Patriot missiles. He can get mad if we put nukes there, but he can't get mad if we put defensive missiles there. So that's what they're going to do. They're going to put them all up and down the damn border, and they're just going to keep building them and putting them there. And now the Baltic states are calling for the European alliance to put them inside of Europe and start putting missile defense shields all over the place.
These people aren't very bright, are they?
No, they're not very bright.
Like people running NATO in the United States. Like, can you think of anything more provocative? It's like, come on, guys.
You're going, but that's so. Then Putin's answer, of course, is no. To still be considered targets because they're there to knock our missiles out the sky. Well, you're right about that.
Of course, that's their mission.
So whether we
what
put
these people never ask is like, what were you going to do if Putin sends Spetsnaz teams to covertly just take them out? What are we going to do? Are we going to start a war over that?
And Putin's saying going into this, that they're considered targets. So as long as
Yeah.
Putin's saying this, I don't know, but we're still going to put them there because NATO's doing it a different way. So instead of saying these are NATO, these are just going to be put there by their individual countries as the country's defense, not part of NATO's defense.
Right.
Come on,
not necessarily to mention that all the weapons came from America.
Putin didn't get to be president of Russia 4 times because he's stupid. I mean, sometimes you just got to stop and wonder and say, okay, who the hell comes up with some of this moronic stuff? What do you mean, Denise? No, whoever's whispering into Joe Biden's ear is a moron. I don't know who it is.
Some people say that's
I don't even
Obama who's doing that.
Obama's not that stupid. When people told me, it's Obama. You know what? When it comes to the economy, I could believe it was Obama. But when it comes to everything else that's going on now, Obama's just not that stupid. This looks more like either like his wife or somebody who's young, because a lot of his ideas sound more Z-genery or progressive than they do anything else. So it's it just seems like, and it doesn't even seem like it's always the same people in control because he flip flops.
No, it seems like there's like 4 different.
Yeah, it's like he flip flops.
Yeah.
It's just like he flip flops. What's that, Jimmy? No, it does. It's like he just flops around.
But it's not only just that. I mean, it seems that he also is struggling to fixate on where he is in reality. A lot of times, the man looks like he's completely lost. His eyes are so dead looking.
He knows where he's at whenever he has an ice cream cone.
Yeah, or smells some prepubescent girl's hair.
God, I knew you were going to say that. It just grosses me out, man. Every time people say that, he's such.
It is weird.
He's just Jimmy. I look. Let me tell you what. If Donald Trump would have ever ran his hair through some little 10-year-old girl's hair and then reached down and smelled it or touched it,
he picked up the girl's hair to his nose to sniff it.
He would be in prison right now. If it was Donald Trump, he'd be in prison. How Joe Biden gets away with this shit?
Yeah, there would be nonstop wall-to-wall media coverage.
Oh my God,
it's so weird.
Well, no, Chris, you're right. They have been changing the laws in California and New York when it comes to pedophilia. They have been loosening them, is what they've been doing.
Yeah,
too many Hollywood people get.
Joe, I need to correct you. It is no longer pedophile. It is minor attracted person.
Oh my!
Oh my God!
Serious? Look at Google Gemini. Just put it in. You'll get a nice little treat, a nice little education.
It makes me really disappointed to be on this planet sometimes.
Well, it's not so much a planet; it's just California. California's its own damn planet. It's we were talking about that the other day, man. It's down here where I live, they will still kill your ass.
I don't know if it's another planet or a warped dimension or something, but I'm serious. I'd say the bulk of the crazy people. I mean, just nice crazy, not certifiable.
Delusional.
There you go. There's a lot of them out there, but like you said, Joe, when you go out there are some people that you walk down Hollywood and Vine. I've seen videos of it all the time. There's people in weird, wacky costumes all the time. Yeah. It's like a Star Trek convention all year long.
I used to work on Sunset and Vine, Sunset and on Hollywood Boulevard as well. I worked at a Chipotle in Hollywood and Veggie Grill in Hollywood. I worked at Del Taco in East Hollywood.
So I've heard Del Tacos are really good.
You're making me hungry, girl.
Yeah.
It's wait. I didn't know Haley dropped out.
Taco.
Haley did drop out. Yeah.
She officially, because Trump had 1,066 delegates.
Haley dropped out.
Yeah, Haley only had.
I didn't really like her all that much.
She beat him in 2 states. You don't know that, right? She beat him in 2 states.
Yeah. But you're not going to carry the whole thing with just
her game is to be the person left standing if they prosecute him or get him like a felony.
Yeah.
Would she come back?
She would try.
I think that's her plan. Yeah, I think she knows she never had a chance.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if she's got a chance. It depends. There's a lot of depending going on there.
We got a lot of road to cross first.
Yeah, there's let's see, where are we? Are we fresh on the new polls? Let's see. These
we're good.
are
A
these
couple
up to
days into the
date?
new month. There should be some new stuff up there.
Well, no, I'm just checking the ones I'm getting ready to read. I want to make sure they are up to speed. Okay.
Whatever happened to Gary Johnson?
You know,
Is he the libertarian?
Yeah, he faked like a heart attack on stage, like out of fun.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, or stroke or something. They were talking about cannabis use, and the lady was saying something about how dangerous it was because it can induce a stroke or a heart attack. And he grabbed his chest and like rolled around on the floor
over.
for a second.
That's something that I would do.
Funny.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's see. Swing states are what? Georgia, Virginia, Wisconsin, Arizona, Nevada. Yeah, Pennsylvania's one.
Oh, okay.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's see where he's at. So let's go find Georgia first. So Georgia, he lost pretty bad Georgia last time around. So let's go see where he's at in Georgia this time. Let's see. National right now. They're saying because of the speech, Joe Biden has gained a point. and wait,
saying that on MSNBC?
No, I don't. This is 270 poll, but we're going to go through some more. But Trump's still ahead by 1.1%. Okay, anyway. So Indiana was a state, but Trump's 55-34. Minnesota, which is going to be a blue state. Montana, of course, is going to be a red state. Iowa, of course, is going to be a red state. Arizona, which was a toss-up last year, it looks like it's going to be for Trump. California has moved down to 38% for Trump now. Wow. So Georgia, Biden handled good last year. Right now, it's 49% for Trump, 40% for Biden. So that swing state's gone. Here's Pennsylvania, 41% for Biden, 47% for Trump. So that swing state is gone. North Carolina is red. Nevada, which was a swing state, is now 41-47 for Trump.
Wow.
Michigan is 46-44, so Michigan is tight. Texas, 45-35. Wisconsin, which was a swing state, 46-40. Maine, Trump's going to actually win Maine, 38-32.
Wow.
That's Maine 2. And this is Maine District 1. That's going to be 39-31. Trump's going to lose that one. Maine District. How many freaking districts are there in Maine that we got to go through? 45-20. New York, 40-48. Damn, Trump's got 40% in New York.
Wow.
They don't like him in New York.
No, they don't.
he's got 40% of the vote. So I mean, somebody likes him. And,
not as much as they should for it to be like his home state.
I know, I agree with you. South Carolina, 52 Trump. Washington State, 54-40. So Biden's got Washington State. Maryland's got this Biden. Colorado. Are
they still Biden?
Yeah, Colorado. You bunch of pot smoking dumbasses. How could you possibly vote for Biden? I mean, do y'all not have the good weed up there? Oh, y'all got the California weed. Never mind. I understand now. Never mind. But we're going to move on now. Mass, of course, is going to go blue. Utah is pretty much just all Trump. Nebraska District 1 is Trump. Nebraska District 2 is Trump. South Dakota is Trump. Missouri is Trump. Nebraska 2 and 3 is Trump and Trump. Ohio is Trump. New Hampshire. Wow, look at Trump performing in New Hampshire. 46-50. Damn, go Trump.
Wow.
Florida is 45-40. Virginia is 43-49. Biden up by 6. Tennessee, we didn't need to talk about. Alaska, we don't need to talk about. Wyoming, we don't need to talk about. Arkansas, we don't. Illinois, he sucks in Illinois. North Dakota is doing good. Oklahoma is doing good.
Illinois, they're all mobsters. Illinois, they're all gangster mobsters.
Yeah, they're all backing Obama.
He's New Mexico. New Mexico. I mean, really? You're the Wild Wild West state. How could you possibly want to vote blue? I mean, you're the Roswell state. Give me. Really, y'all are effed up.
It has to do with the low income per capita. Like how many? New Mexico's pretty low income.
It's pretty poor too. So you're right. It's got a small population for such a big state.
They have pockets of high wealth, like up in the resort areas, but overall, It's pretty.
So
pretty
let's
poor.
see. Let's see right quick. Where is the overall map at? Because I just had it in front of me a minute ago. So right now, if you go by all what we just went over, Trump is winning by he's like 288. He's the winner.
288 what?
Electoral votes. He's actually got more than that. So right now, if you leave out these states, the ones that are contested, Trump is 235, Biden is 226. If you add in the contested states, the ones he's going to win, except for New Mexico, he's going to be he'll be over 300.
Wow.
But doesn't that not really mean anything come the time? Which one is it that doesn't really matter?
The electoral college
Popular
matters.
vote doesn't matter.
Yeah, popular vote doesn't matter.
It's that okay.
Because his first administration, Hillary won the popular vote, but at the end of the evening, when they counted all the electoral stuff, Trump won.
Yeah, in a big way too. He won.
Yeah.
It wasn't even. I mean, he won pretty hands down. The reason they have the electoral college is so that New York and California don't pick our presidents every time.
Well, it was also initially put in for way back when for people who may have been illiterate to not allow the wrong candidate to get elected. So,
all right, let's see these new updated polls. Let's see. Emerson College, Trump 43, Biden 41. Emerson College, Biden 51, Trump 49. Ooh, I don't believe in that. Biden, Haley's beating him. It doesn't matter. She's out, so we're not going to worry about her anymore. The Economist, Trump's up 44-42. The Hill, Trump 55-30. Damn, man. It's Emerson College.
Wait. Trump was at 55?
Yeah, Trump's up 55, and this is a liberal ass. Oh man,
what state?
No, this isn't a state. Well, actually, this is. What is this? Oh no, it's not. This is just a election poll from the Hill, from the company The Hill.
Oh,
okay. The other one was from the so Trump's 55-30. Even Haley was beating you there. So the Morning Consultant, Trump and Biden are tied. So general election in Virginia, let's see. So Trump 42, yeah, Florida Atlantic University.
I feel like though, Joe, that most of these polls where they're dead heat, Biden and Trump, I feel like those people are just cutting their losses because that's going to be the two choices anyway. So they're not putting in the accuracy that they really need to.
Yeah, they
I can't vote for him.
That's the problem. A bunch of us can't vote for him, but he's still going to win because he's got enough people to vote for him.
I'm not like either of them. I would definitely.
Yeah, nobody can vote for him. That's what I'm saying. That's the whole problem. Nobody can vote for either one of them. This is one of these elections where it's going to come down to which one do you dislike the most?
Which one do you hate the least? Yeah.
That's easy for me. That's easy for me.
Me too.
And it's going to be easy for a lot of people.
For the last several elections. It was like that for Obama and Trump and Hillary. So it's just like, who's the worst, the least worst of the
or who's the most competent and capable?
There's another thing.
That doesn't really answer the question. They're both
incompetent. You won't know until they've been in. So we know Trump was at least competent as a president. He may have been disliked. He may have been a wordy asshole.
I don't know if he was competent. I don't think he could get anything done, which is why he was perceived as competent.
He got a few things that he said done, but a lot he didn't because he was constantly being bombarded from the Democrats. He couldn't get anything done. The same thing with Obama. They both had the same problem.
But that's when government does best, when nothing can get done. So they can't waste money. They can't do a bunch of garbage and
Let's see. Here are the latest group of polls, and this is from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 10 different polling companies. So currently, when you add them all together, Trump's got 7 of them. Let me make sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them actually. So he's got 46%. Biden's got 44%. That's it, combining everything. Biden's got 4. He's got 1 at 40. No, wait. Emerson College, Biden and Trump are tied. YouGov, Trump's winning that. So we're okay. Morning Consultant, he's up by a point, and TPPI's Insights, he's up by a point. CBS and Wall Street have Trump kicking Biden's ass.
Mhm.
I mean, Wall Street's just scared. They got him up by 4 points. And CBS YouGov's got him up by 6 points.
What does it mean in these uncommitted? I keep hearing about uncommitted.
That's
what does that really mean?
People has not made up their mind who they voted for yet.
Oh yeah, basically what it works.
Those are the people that ordered toilet paper during the pandemic.
Yeah, uncommitted or undecided. Usually, what it works out to is those are the people that usually, since they're so undecided, they usually don't even vote. So it's a good metric to have, but most of them aren't going to vote in the first place.
So they're voting to not vote.
Yeah,
I mean, if you just lived under the last year of like near hyperinflation, I don't know how you'd be undecided at this point.
Yeah, because just the ones that hate Trump. That's what it is. New York Times has Trump 48, Biden 43.
Yeah, what the country has to ask itself: Can
you live
with a hateful man in the office, but you're paying good gas prices? You know?
Oh, look, now we got Kennedy in the polls. All right.
Oh yay!
I actually really like him. I'm confused. I wonder if he's bought and paid for too. You know, if his opinions are really somebody else's.
So right now, on the average of these polls across the board, you got Biden, Stein, Kennedy, West, and Trump. So the Stein and West will just give to Kennedy. That'll put him at 14%. Not bad.
I really like him. I don't know.
Yeah, and I agree with what Leah said. What if the Democratic Party made some deal with him where he alienates himself with them and then pops out to help try to detract votes from Trump in an effort to put Biden back in. So what if he's that kind of red herring?
No, it would it's already blown up in their faces.
Yeah, he said far too much about the party for them to. He left the party. I mean, what are they going to do? He's not a Democrat anymore. Kennedy's an independent. Just like when Tulsi Gabbard left the Democrats. I mean, it's a high-profile people leaving this party. But so Biden, with Kennedy in the race, is at 38%. That's the source of these. So this is Emerson, TTI, Fox, Harvard. Wait. Harvard has Trump beating Biden.
Wow.
And Quinnipiac, which is so left, it's not funny, only has Trump losing by a point. Everybody else.
I don't think it was a very good look for him to just be eating ice cream while talking about like the ceasefire, this and that. We'll get to it when we get to it, but here, let me eat my ice cream. I don't know. I think it was just a bad look.
Because he's an idiot.
Hey, Joe, why don't we try this? Because we've been looking at mostly like European, American polling system. What is European polls saying about the election? What are Canada polls?
I looked the other day for some. There really hasn't had that many that have been up. They haven't. The Europeans been kind of staying out of it for some reason lately, and the Canadians, they get too much bullshit going on with.
They could care less because of pink pants.
Yeah.
Castro's son is a huge.
Yeah, it is. He is, and he's Castro's son. I mean, I have no doubt that's his son.
I think it's. I mean, we joke about it. I think it's highly likely, though, right? Because like his parents used to be swingers, right?
Yeah, well,
and they knew Castro. Right?
Well, this is what sold the deal for me. So
he looks nothing like his actual dad. Like
he looks exactly like young Castro.
He looks
like Castro.
You can't unsee the pictures.
But
the pictures you showed are very telling.
But the best part about all this is, so they did a little bit of digging. I had Amelia and him do some digging for me. So we found out for sure that the Prime Minister of Canada was at home the few weeks when she got pregnant for Trudeau. So the funny part is, though, he was home with his mistress while, where was she? Cuba for 8 weeks. 8 weeks. No doubt who's the daddy of this baby. Ain't even no doubt anymore. Why he won't go get blood tests is beyond me. Because he don't want to give it.
Same reason that Biden won't get a competency.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
The proof will be in the pudding.
It's
cognitive test. That was the word I was thinking.
Yes. What do you mean, Daryl? It's right now. Everything you see says Trump's going to be. See, that's not how it was in 2020. Everything you seen in 2020 said Biden was going to be. And in 2016, though, it pretty much said Trump was going to be.
Something's going to happen, though. They're going to do something. It's not going to be.
They're going
It's
to
not going
try
to be
like
Democratic.
I think
It'll either be a conviction, or he might have some heart palpitations at the wrong time.
I don't
know.
Happen. I think the Democrats might be a little scared this time around to do something stupid.
They are doing something stupid. They've been doing it for the last.
He's got a trial in New York for when you go sell a house, you don't say the house is worth my tax basis, which is $20,000 less than market value. Like, you don't do that. Nobody does that. But that's what he's getting sued for.
Yeah, you don't have clandestine cell phone calls with Kamala Harris while having an illicit affair with your prosecutor, and then draw up charges against Trump that are, pardon the pun, trumped up. It's just, it's like third world.
It's just lawfare. Yeah, it's like Banana Republic lawfare.
Let's see. What is this? Biden, you can go wherever you want. It's not going to help you, dude. You sucking. They said first place he went after the speech was to Pennsylvania, and he went down 1 point in the standings.
Yeah, thank you, Pennsylvania.
Well, Penn's kicked the Republicans hard last time. They voted for the president, and then they put what's his name in, Lieberman.
Yeah.
But you know what? I hate to say this.
Fetterman.
I didn't like Fetterman. Yeah, Fetterman. I did say Lieberman, didn't I? It's I didn't like Dr. Oz. There was something cheesy about the dude.
Yeah.
If I lived there, I don't know if I could have voted for him.
Well, you don't like crudité? You don't like crudité, Joe?
That's about the guy just strikes me the wrong way.
Arugula and crudité?
Yeah. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
That's exactly what it is. He's some rich guy. He can't even relate to like a normal person.
He is a
that was his problem.
Fella. But see, the thing is with him, he's practiced in television. He knows how to, like Reagan, he knows how to present his good side to the camera. But it just, and while we were doing the election, if you watched the election for him and Fetterman, it was close the whole time. I mean, they were neck and neck until the very end. So I was surprised that Fetterman got that far. He's just so thuggish looking and unlikable as a person.
Well, he went Manchurian candidate on the Democrats. Suddenly he's like all for Israel now. And they're like, oh, what do we do?
It's well, you know what? And he does sound more and more like a Republican every day. But I think he knows which way the wind is shifting. He may even jump parties. Come closer to election time, he may even jump parties because he wants to keep his seat. He's a senator, right? So he's got like 4 more years, but but he still may jump parties. I mean, because there's been a lot of party jumping, and it's funny.
But can you even do that while you're mid-senator? Can you swap parties in the middle of
party? Yeah, you can change party anytime you want. Yeah, doesn't matter.
I hate to let you guys go, but it's my bedtime.
Yes, we're getting ready to get out of here ourselves, so don't feel bad.
Okay.
We'll be rolling out here in about a couple of minutes, but no. So remember, guys. So right now, Trump's ahead in the polls. We'll see. We got 8 months. Anything can happen in 8 months. The Georgia trial may not make it to trial. The DC trial might not make it either. The New York, they're trying to take from a civil to a criminal. So
how do you even do that? How do you take civil charges and turn them into criminal?
I don't know, but they're desperate. But and even if the judge does the problem for the Democrats is even if you can get a real federal felony on him, if the appeals court says it's appealed before the election, it doesn't count against him.
Yeah.
So you can't. And once he's president, he can just say. He can pardon his own self if he wants to. He don't even have to though, because the statute of limitations would be up by the time he gets out of office. Mm-hmm. You can't try a sitting president. Yeah, sorry guys, it doesn't work that way. You'd like to try it. Only person to get a sitting president out is the Congress. Yes.
Yeah.
They're the only ones that can get him out, and they ain't never gonna have enough votes to get him out. So
he was convicted twice of what's the thing we try to get him out of office? He was impeached twice in office.
He was impeached twice, yeah, but he wasn't convicted. If he was convicted, he wouldn't be in.
He still had 2 impeachments against him.
Yeah, impeachments are just the act. It's like like when you get a grand jury. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
they're just trying to get you out, but you still have to have a jury that says you're, because impeachment is a bad word. We were taught impeachment was a bad word with Nixon.
Nixon was actually impeached, and he didn't have to leave office. He did so voluntarily.
He did leave voluntarily. He didn't have to leave. He could have stayed. They didn't have enough votes to get him out. Well, Clinton, they didn't even bother with Clinton because they didn't have enough votes.
Yeah.
The problem is when you need 2/3 of the Congress, you're not getting it.
And at worst, he would have been convicted of a simple, not even a felony, a misdemeanor of marital infidelity or something like that. Or, sodomy 1.
Maybe there's a crime about having sex in the White House.
I don't know.
Never mind. I'm letting that go.
Every room. Plus, JFK had secret passages.
But that was way
just
back
to
in the
sneak
day.
girls in and out.
There's nothing wrong with that. Anyway, we got to go, ladies and gents. Y'all be sure to catch Sean. He's here on Sundays. He's been picking up pretty good there, steadily going up. Jay's here with us. Right now, he's been hanging out with us on Wednesdays and he's on Fridays, and of course, he's with Jeffrey on some Fridays. Leah's back and forth with us on Wednesdays and Fridays. Leah's a sweetie pie, but she is an alien, so be careful. I'm just warning you, people. I know, she's famous. And
Joe knows more about me than I know about myself.
Yeah, don't break up the ray gun, please.
Y'all just be careful. Y'all ever see that movie? What was that movie? Where there was the beautiful woman, and the guy's kissing her in
Species.
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 I'm warning you, people. That's all. You got a fair warning.
Very similar to Species, where the pretty woman sucks the life force out of the dude.
Oh yeah, you can't unsee that.
Oh, that was a good one. But that was. Anyway, we're not even talking about that movie. First time I seen that movie, I said, "Is this going to be a scary movie? Is this going to be a nudie movie?" I wasn't sure which way it was going.
How scary?
Turns out it's both.
Turned out it was both. Around 90% of the time naked.
Hey,
how is that scary?
That part.
I mean, the fact that they just kind of wipe out all of London by
that part
within minutes.
I was like, whoa, yeah. What was a cool thing? A vampire ship pulls up. Halley's Comet was a vampire ship. That was
Vampires
actually cool.
And turned everybody into zombies. It was very, very cool.
Yes. No, we got to go, guys. Maybe one night we'll do movies or something one night. We got music coming up because I want to bring a friend of mine, Carmen, in. He's a musician out of California, and I think Sean's met Carmen before. Probably has. You might have met. Yeah,
I know Carmen well.
Yeah. Carmen, you got to get a ladder to talk to Carmen Bassett so tall. I'm just teasing y'all, but we got to go. So y'all come hang out with us. We'll be back on Wednesdays. Getting in trouble. No, Sean's here tomorrow. Sean, there's another new show on Sunday, so they added it. Don't ask me. I don't know.
Michelle's in charge.
There's been a couple of new shows added in the last week, so there's some new hosts and some new shows. So familiarize yourself with it. No, really. Leah's going to be with us for as long as she wants to be. I've been bugging her to do radio with me again actually,
I need to do some homework though. I feel like I have some homework to do.
Well, that's okay. You can catch up with everybody. That's a good thing. Leah used to actually host this very show with me way back in the day when she's like 18 or something. But
Leah,
she wasn't that young.
Leah, you like YouTube? Check this out. There's a guy. I forget the guy's name. I think his name is AJ. I don't know his full name, but he's got a sponsored YouTube show called Y-Files. You should check him out. He's very well informed, and I just found him a few weeks ago. And I'm like, how come I never heard of this guy? He's all over YouTube, and he's
Y-Files sounds pretty familiar.
Yeah, Y-Files. It's got like 3 billion. Yeah, it's up there already.
He's got a goofy like cartoon fish. The hecklefish that works with him. But it's not creepy. It's kind of funny.
Well, it's kind of creepy when they do all the double entendres.
When he gets into the X-rated stuff, it's kind of creepy. But I enjoy it.
But it's done in such a way that if like a kid's watching it, they would have no idea.
Right, kids listening to us, we're going to bed, or y'all should already be in bed because I know it's wee hours. Well, it's still early for the two on the bottom. It's only 10 o'clock out there.
But I have to wake up at 4 a.m. So.
Oh, Jesus. So shit's already late for her, but we got to
go.
It's
already 1:15 a.m.
Remember, people, you can send stories to my email, iCarcox.net, or anybody who wants to get them. You can send stories into the network anytime you want, and you can suggest music, but people, no more like that last one, okay? No, I mean it knocked Leah off the internet for 5 minutes. It was so horrible. No
YouTube didn't even want us to play it.
I know it's just no. I mean some jazz. All right, real quick. Some jazz, some rock, some hard rock, some in between stuff. And if it's going to be grunge, some really good grunge.
How about some industrial electronic music?
Yeah, we can do that too.
Yeah, something.
What? ELO, I don't think fits in that category. It's not that ELO isn't electronic music because it is. That's the name of the damn band.
Well, it's in the name, Electric Light Orchestra.
I don't think that's quite what we're talking about. I look, the rockier the better. I mean, that's a bad way of saying it, but No, you talking about Guns N' Roses? No, Guns N' Roses is
maybe we ought to do a show one evening of just weird, quirky shows or songs. I got some songs that you guys have never heard of. You'd be like, "What the?"
I was so happy. I went to go. A friend of mine drugged me in to go see Guns N' Roses one time. I was like, dude, I said their music's okay, but I had never heard of Metallica before, and they were opening for Guns N' Roses. I was like, oh shit, I like these guys. I was like, it was at one of them big rock fests at the Superdome. I said, I like these guys, man.
This is kind of like with me with REM. I went to go see their Green concert in 1987 in Connecticut when I was in college, and the band that opened up was 10,000 Maniacs, and they were 10,000 times better. They didn't have a light show, but their audio sounded okay, and then some pretty decent. The hall was muddy, so I couldn't really hear the vocals too well. But the music, the band, I could hear really well.
REM was Natalie Merchant a part of 10,000 Maniacs?
Yes, I believe so. And then REM came out. They have a professional light show. They had smoke foggers all over the place and lasers pointing into the audience. And the audio was terrible. The musicians were terrible. Like the music was muddy. It was awful. It was the worst concert ever.
I've seen some good ones and bad. We got to go, people. Thanks for hanging out and listening to News on the Flip Side with the crazy guys. The other Sean will be back next week. He's well, y'all know before.
A little under the weather this week,
and we're still looking. We're still looking to bring in 1 or 2. The hosts on this network on this show kind of move around, and we do have an opening on the Author's Quill for a single host that likes to talk to authors, and that's like a once every 5 or 6 week job. No, tomorrow I will be with 5 young ladies on the Author's Quill. Yes, 5. I know 2 UKs that work together, all together 5. Yes, and I know it's gonna be a job. But I think John Goodwin said he's going to stop by and give me a hand. So anybody else that's around, pop by. 2 are authors, and I think 3 are illustrators, yes. So y'all be sure to check them all out, and we'll go from there. I'm getting all my work done early, so I have a free time. Night, guys, and see you all next week.
Good night.
Dun, 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 dun.